Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cheyenne, Wyoming. The Rapid City Post 22 Hardhats taking on the Sixers, the Post 6 Legion team here in Cheyenne in the Wyoming state capital. We're happy to have you with us. We unfortunately, despite tremendous amount of effort with yours truly, Mike Fell, filling in for Oliver Fell, and our former broadcaster last year, Adam Birch, and also Mr. Hollick. We gave it our very best to try to get you a picture, but unfortunately, we were not able to do that. However, we can give you the good old-fashioned radio broadcast, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to be in good position to bring you these 3 games with the audio sound, so you'll be able to follow along with us, keep score with us as we move through this afternoon's doubleheader. Currently, we are in the top half of the 3rd inning. The score is 4-2 or 4-1 in favor of Cheyenne Post 6. Cheyenne Post 6 2, and they split a set of 4 games last week after starting 7-0, and now the Hardhats come in as a 3-0 team, and they have something going. Currently, there are 2 outs and 2 on base for the Hardhats, with the pitch coming up from the starter for Post 6. Now, I want to make it clear, I'm playing a little bit of catch up because I've been spending so much time trying to get us on the air, and this is my first road broadcast for Hardhats TV. You can practice everything, and sometimes you go on the road broadcasting and it still doesn't work. There's a double steal, and the Hardhats steal second base and third base, and now 2 runs are in scoring position with the 3-1 count to the hitter for the Post. So now the bases are loaded, the tying runs are on base, and coming up for the Post 22 Hardhats is Alex Dietrich. Pitch to Dietrich is high and outside for ball number 1. Bases are loaded, a golden opportunity for Alex Dietrich to get to Peyton Seelig, the starting pitcher for Post 6 for Cheyenne. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Dietrich. It's hit deep. It's hit far. It's towards the wall. It's over the left fielder. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Here comes a play at the plate, and the runner is out. Harrison Good is gunned down, and he is arguing the call vehemently, but he is ruled out. He slid into home plate, and he was retired in a bang play. Great play by the catcher for Post 6, and that retires the side. However, Post 22 gets a lot closer. Although the potential tying run was just gunned down at the plate, it was a double by Alex Dietrich that brought home 2 RBIs and made the score 4-3. So now the Hardhats, who come into this game unbeaten, have pulled to within a run, and we are midway through the 3rd inning with our score Cheyenne Post 6-4 and the Post 22 Hardhats 3. You're listening to Hardhats TV, our audio-only presentation. Again, our sincere. We have just been doing everything we can the last hour and a half to bring you a picture, and despite a camera that's working, despite all the photographs we took from our setup, we're just not able to deliver the picture. But we'll bring you the old school baseball broadcast on Hardhats TV, and we're happy to have you along the way on Fox Sports. We are with you from Cheyenne. It's a beautiful windy day, and the Hardhats and the Sixers are at it in game 1 of a doubleheader today. Mike Fell with you, filling in for the voice of Hardhats TV, Oliver Fell. And want to give a shout out to my good friend, General Manager Wayne Sullivan. Shout out to my son Oliver, the voice of Hardhats TV. And again, my name is Mike Fell. Happy to have you with us this afternoon. We've got a good one going. We're glad we were able to sign on and come on the air a moment ago because the biggest plays of the game, the sequence of the game just happened in the last 5 minutes, and that's when Alex Dietrich was able to drive home 2 runs in a 4-1 game, make it 4-3, and Harrison Good, he tried to score from first, and he was tagged out at the plate. I have to say, I do agree with the umpire. I think the umpire made the right call, and it was almost a bases clearing double that would have tied the game. Instead, uh, Peyton Seelig, the starting pitcher for the post Sixers, remain on top 4-3. So now we go to the bottom of the third inning. We are the second time through the order. Post 6 with 5 hits in the game. The Hardhats with 2 hits. On the mound for Post 22 is Lady. Hayden Lady is the starting pitcher for Post 22 today, and he's given up 4 runs in the first 2 innings. Here's the pitch, and that's a swing and a miss, strike 3 for out number 1. Great pitch right there from Hayden. He was able to work the outside part of the plate and get that first out. Now the second hitter will come up to the plate for Post 22. Hayden Lighty waits for the opportunity to pitch, and there's strike 1. He carves the outer part of the plate. I have to want to be in full disclosure, transparent mode here, and that is my point for Post 6. There is a ball hit to the shortstop, throw to first is off the glove. That'll be air on Alex Dietrich, the first baseman for Post 22. And now there is 1 on and 1 out. Bradley Feeser, the designated hitter, now checks in for Post 6. Hayden Lighty, with the man taking a little bit of a lead off of first base, looks for the sign and fires over the plate, and the ball is fouled away. And just like the last 2 at-bats, Hayden Lighty able to get ahead of the hitter on strike 1, something that's great to see here. Last time up, the Post 6 Sixer at the plate, the batter here, was able to reach base by a hit by pitch. And we have a balk called against Hayden Lighty, and that's going to send the base runner for Post 6 down to second base and move Anderson into scoring position for the Sixers. So now 1 is on, 1 is out. A day in which the wind is blowing out hard to left field. If you can get the ball kind of high enough and in the jet stream, you could hit it out. We saw Alex Dietrich drill the ball deep to left last inning, and there's a base hit. That'll score a run. And Post 6 will take a 5-3 lead as Bradley Feeser, the designated hitter, with a soft single to left center field, extends the lead for Post 6, and the red-headed Anderson able to cross home plate for Post 6, and now it is a 5-3 ball game. The Hardhats have been trailing for most of this game. They did play to run in the top half of the first inning, then Post 6 scored 4 in the bottom of the first. Neither team crossed the plate in the second inning, and here in the third, both teams have been at work, and there's another base hit for Post 6, and now 2 men are on with only 1 out, and Hayden Lighty is really starting to struggle. After a scoreless second inning, he's given up a run. bullpen, but certainly the specter of more damage looms. Now Hayden Leidy, who's given up 8 hits in 2 innings, 2 1/3 innings of work, will get ready to face the 4th hitter in this inning. Pitch to Coates is going to be golfed to right field, and that'll load the bases for the Sixers. Post 6, now loading the bases, and this is trouble, and we will see a visit from the post 22 pitching coach to try to settle down Leidy. And we may have a pitching change. There's some activity in the bullpen, but there was nobody warming up in the visiting bullpen here in Cheyenne for post 22. So it certainly appears that we are going to be looking at a long discussion with Hayden Leidy, and we will see if Hayden can get out of this bases loaded jam with 1 out here in the first inning, with post 6 leading 5-3, 1 out, bases loaded.
Rice over at second, Coates at first. 4 consecutive singles.
After a parade of 4 hitters have delivered singles for post 6, Hayden Leidy tries to get back on track. His first pitch is inside for a ball. The Sixers threatening to break this game open here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, leading 5-3, bases are jammed. Here comes the pitch to down low, and that's going to extend the at-bat to 2-0. Hayden Leidy, he was not a factor in the decision of the last game he started, which was on opening night a week ago in the 10-9 walk-off victory in 7 innings over post 400. He struggled a bit at the same juncture in that game, and then it was Eli Kelly that came in and really settled things down for the Hardhats. And he is struggling here. Bases loaded, 3-0 count, 1 more ball, and that will bring in another run for Cheyenne post number 6. Here comes the pitch. It's outside, ball 4, and the bases loaded walk has been issued by Hayden Leidy. And now the score for post 6 and post 22 stands with the Cheyenne post 6 Sixers leading 6-3, and the bases are still juiced with only 1 out. Now the hitter coming up for post 6 is the best player on the team for post 6. Watch out, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. This is a player that Kelvin Torby and the coaches were talking about on the bus ride down here. And I think his name is McClady. He is coming up to bat with the bases loaded for post 6. 6-3 our score. Cheyenne post 6 leading by 3 runs. The bases are loaded. Post 22 looking for a double play here or play at the plate on a force. And Hayden Leidy throws a ball high, and that evens the count 1-1. So the Hardhats trying to get out of trouble in this 3-run ball game. They nearly tied the game in the top half of this inning, but a play at the plate, a tag play against Harrison Good, was able to keep the lead with the home team here in Cheyenne. Both post 22 and post 6 will play each other twice this year. The Sixers, an outstanding program that produced New York Mets outfielder Brandon Nimmo several years ago, They are going to be coming up here for the up to Rapid City for the Veterans Classic later. All right, here's a pitch over the plate, and it is caught. No, it's almost caught by Zach Farley making a dive in left field. For a moment, it looked like he made a full extension snow cone catch, but then the ball just popped out of Zach Farley's hands, and that is going to be a base hit and a single that drives home and the fourth run of the third run rather of this third inning, and that makes it a 4-run game. It's 7-3. The post six Sixers here in Cheyenne, still with only 1 out and the bases juiced, wait for Hayden Lighty to deliver a pitch. That pitch is up the middle. Could be 2. The play is at second. Tag play, or the force is in effect. Throw to first is in time, and that is a double play. Great play right there by the shortstop, by Wilson Kiefer. And Wilson Kiefer with a marvelous piece of defensive infield play up the middle, able to scoop the ball, step on second, throw to Alex Dietrich at first in time to retire the side. So what could have been a complete and utter meltdown in the third inning is contained to a 3-run outburst by the Sixers from post 6 here in Cheyenne. At the end of 3 innings of play, it's post 6, 7, and your post 22 Hardhats 3. You're listening to the action today on Hardhats TV. Glad to have you with us from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Would you be able to get a pen for me? I think my pens fell out of my pocket on my bus ride. Oh, thank you. That helps me. But yeah, we've got audio, and we're just going radio because we seem to have a cord issue that's not related to the plug-ins. But we tried, Adam and I couldn't sort it out. You're listening and watching Hardhats TV, the post 6 Cheyenne Hardhats leading 7-3. Happy to have some assistance there between innings. I've got my pen, and now I can keep score and give you a more accurate account of the action. So far, I've been carried as a broadcaster by the fine broadcasters that are on both sides of me here at Powers Field in Cheyenne. And there is a hard hit shot to the second baseman, who makes a leaping grab for out number 1. So 1 out, nobody on now for the top half of the 4th inning for post 22. Pitch is going to be outside for a ball. The Stars, or rather the Sixers, are 9-2 coming into this ball game. They look the part of a team that has won as a program 36 Wyoming state championships and has 2 radio crews covering their games. It's a real testament to post 6 baseball. And in hearing the skipper for post 6 in his pregame comments, he said they've really modeled their Legion program after post 22 and what Kelvin Torvey and general manager Wayne Sullivan do as a successful American Legion program. Count is at 2-2. Not sure who is at bat at the moment. Try to sort that out momentarily. Again, you're listening to Mike Fell. I am filling in for Oliver Fell, my son, who will be taking over the reins in about 10 days from now. And the second batter for post 22 swings and misses. He's retired. And now the left-handed batter comes up to bat for Post 22. Was not able to get the lineup cards, wasn't able to even get remotely situated to set up the game part of the broadcast because of technical challenges with our first Hardhats road game. We have a ball batted up the middle. Throw to first is in time to retire the side. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for post 6. And the Hardhats down by 4, struggling. It looks like we're going to have a pitching change to start the bottom half of the 4th inning. So the Hardhats trail 7-3. They have been out hit by the Sixers 10-2. And it's been a cleanly played game. Neither team charged with an error through 3.5 innings of baseball on this blustery afternoon in the capital city of the Cowboy State, Cheyenne, Wyoming. Mike Fell with you here on Hardhats TV and on Fox Sports Radio. We're happy you're with us this afternoon. We are bringing you game 1 of a doubleheader. We'll have the doubleheader for you the second half, about 30 minutes or 20 minutes after the completion of game 1. And thanks for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon. Understand it's a beautiful spring day back in the Black Hills. We're happy you're with us. In the distance, beyond the center field wall here at Powers Field, is Chick-fil-A. I know that it's been talked about by many people, even mayoral candidates, about at mayoral candidate forums, about bringing a Chick-fil-A to Rapid City. What's it going to take for Rapid City to get a Chick-fil-A? We will just have to, I guess, wait patiently for Chick-fil-A to make its entrance into Rapid City. You know, the thing to keep in mind with Chick-fil-A is it's run by a very devout Christian family out of the Atlanta area, and as a result, they are not open on Sundays. So I understand the team is going to, the Post 22 Hardhats, win or lose, they're going to get some Chick-fil-A later on, but they are not going to be able to bring you the they are not going to get to go to Chick-fil-A tomorrow because Chick-fil-A is always closed on Sunday to observe the Lord's Day. 7-3 our score. We're getting a pitching change here.
And we didn't have him on the roster that we took a picture of. And we'll try to get a name of this pitcher as quickly as we can.
Not sure who the pitcher is for Post 22. But we're going to have a relief pitcher coming in to relieve Hayden Lighty. To close the book on Hayden Lighty, he gave up 7 earned runs on 10 hits. And there were no errors while he was out there. Not a strong outing for Hayden, but he's going to have a good season, I'm sure. It just wasn't his day today. You're watching Hardhats TV. We don't have a picture. We've been trying our best, just have not been able, even though we have our camera on, we just have not been able to feed our camera feed downline to our software where we originate our streaming, and we're just, maybe the picture will come on at some point, but we just haven't been able to make that work so far. Glad to have you with us. River Walters is out there for the Hardhats.
River Walters. Hayden Swain will lead things off. Swain, the righty.
Pitch to Swain is hit hard off of Walters into left field. And that ball driven hard to left. And that's going to be a base hit for the Sixers. And so trouble brewing here. River Walters relieving starting pitcher Hayden Lighty. And the post six Sixers looking to build on their 7-3 advantage. We're happy you're with us as we bring you all the action here, radio style, until we can get our camera to work. Something's better than nothing. We've come a long way to bring you Hardhats TV on here in Cheyenne, and so we will bring you the radio call. Mike Fell filling in. Now, I am a radio broadcaster by trade, so I am certainly comfortable calling the action without camera. I'm just kind of playing catch-up because the first 2.5 innings I was working so diligently to try to get you a picture feed that I didn't even get lineup cards handed to me. So just literally playing from behind, doing the best we can. So 1 on, nobody out. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Post 6 leading 7-3. Here comes River Walters, and his pitch is outside for ball 3. Count moves to 3-1 to Hayden to here comes the next pitch. Hayden Swain leading off first base. Braden Pearson is the batter for post 6. Post 6 Sixers trying to win their 10th game of the season in 12 outings. They're off to a good start today in the bottom of the 4th, leading 7-3. Here comes the pitch, and it is over for strike 3. River Walters able to battle back. He trailed in the count 3-1, or rather, 3-0, and he's able to get the strikeout. So now there is 1 on and 1 out. And now here comes Hayden Anderson. He is 2 for 2 on the afternoon. Swain leading off at first base. River Walters, the right-hander, fires, and his pitch is high and inside for a ball. The Hardhats still with plenty of time to rally and pull out a victory. They're undefeated, 3-0 this year after the sweep over the post 400 Stars in the games we had broadcast for you last week from Fitzgerald Stadium. Here comes the pitch, and it's fouled away by Anderson down the right field line. Anderson, who is a red-headed young gentleman, is up to bat. He has a perfect day going so far. He is currently 1-1 in the count, and he's 2 for 2 at the plate today. Here comes River Walters, 1-1 pitch, and that pitch is outside for ball 2. Walters taking plenty of time between pitches. Of course, in American Legion baseball, you don't have that pitch clock that has suddenly transformed Major League Baseball. I personally don't like the pitch clock, but maybe I'm the only one that doesn't. Next pitch is over. Nope, that's a ball. And there is a stolen base attempt, and Hayden Swain steals second base. The jump was really a good one by Swain. He was able to read the right-hander's delivery, and one thing about River Walters when he's on the mound is he is so focused on home plate, and he never checked the runner back at first that I could tell while Swain was leading off. There's a pitch up the middle. Throw to first is in time. Wilson Kiefer with a 6-3 ground out put out retires the fourth batter of the inning and makes it so there are now 2 outs. The Swain advanced on the ground out from second base to third base, and now the designated hitter comes up to hit for post 6. Pitch from Walters is foul down the third base line. Good pitch there by River. He was able to really jam the designated hitter for post 6. 1 man on. He's at third base. That's Swain. Hayden Swain with a bit of a lead. Ball hit hard towards third. This could be out number 3. Throw from third to first is in time to retire the side. And way to go, Hardhats. River Walters able to keep Cheyenne post 6 off the scoreboard in the bottom of the 4th inning and through 4 innings of play here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. It's post 6-7 and the post 22 Hardhats 3. You're listening and watching Hardhats television from Cheyenne. Look at your scoreboard real quick.
It's a mess. What do you need?
Oh, I just need to know which guys are starting the batting order for the post 6.
For post 6?
Yep.
Tafoya, McAnally,
Okay.
Williams, Swain, Pearson, Anderson, Beezer,
Okay.
Reisdorfer,
Okay.
and Coates.
All right. And then their positions.
Tafoya's third.
Go on for his 5th inning of work. It will be.
Welcome back to Powers Field. Move on to the 5th inning of post 6 with a 7-3 lead over the Rapid City Hardhats. And Sixers put 4 up in the bottom of the first, 3 in the bottom of the 3rd. They've out-hit Rapid City 11-2.
Monty Moore saying the Kelly Green Gold of the and Vital Blue.
Peyton Seeley, he has gone the distance so far
On for his
for
5th inning.
post 6, leading things off.
Take a look at this part of the lineup.
Made Wilson Kiefer,
Farley,
shortstop for Rapid City.
Wilson Kiefer will lead things off here in the top half of the 5th inning. Mike Fell with you from Powers
1-0
Park here in Cheyenne. We are just next to the Chick-fil-A here in Cheyenne.
Kiefer.
Wilson Kiefer trying to get something going as the Hardhats are only down by 4 runs, and we're in the 5th inning. So there is certainly time for the Hardhats to mount some kind of rally. Let's see what happens. Kiefer gonna hit the ball right on the button to Caden Coates at second base for out number 1.
Turns it over to the top of the lineup, and Zeke Farley.
Zeke Farley will come up, the leadoff hitter for post 22. Farley almost had the play of the game out in the field with a full extension catch attempt that for a moment looked like it was a catch, and then the ball just kind of popped out of the snow cone position in his glove. Farley, an outstanding left fielder and a very good hitter for Kelvin Torvey and the Hardhats, going to continue to work against Seeley, the starting pitcher for the Sixers, who has been efficient so far today.
Breaking ball low in. 3-0.
Hardhats with nobody on and 1 out to Zeke Farley. Here comes the pitch to Zeke. Zeke hits it right to the second baseman. Easy throw to first is in time. And now the post 22 Hardhats here in the top half of the fifth inning have 2 outs and nobody on. Coming up now is Sailor. Marion Sailor comes up to bat. And we'll see if the center fielder, Marion Sailor, can get on base. And he hits it hard, hits it deep, and it's going to go all the way over the fence, past the second baseman. And Marion's going for 3. Mars is going to be able to stand up at third base with a stand-up triple. He does a little electric air guitar as he gets congratulations from his skipper, Kelvin Torby, in the third base coaching box. And how about that? A Marion Sailor with a triple, hitting it deep, near all the way to the wall around the 390-foot sign in the left power alley. And that'll now bring up Hayden Hollick. Hollick with a chance to drive in a Marion Sailor from third base here. Let's see if Hollick can get to Seeley. He hits it, squibs it towards the third base line, and it will roll foul. Good decision there by Tafoya, the third baseman for post 6, to judge the angle on that play right there. Mason Tafoya deserves a lot of credit for making the right call on that. If he made the wrong call, would have cost the Sixers a run. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Hollick. Sailor's at third, and Hollick barely gets a piece of that high fastball to extend the at-bat. Hollick down 0-2 in the count here in the top of the fifth inning. A Marion Sailor leading a little bit off of third base. Chance here for the Hardhats to pull to within 3 runs or 2 runs. Hollick is going to golf the ball. A lot of fair territory, but it will land just outside the reach of first baseman Hayden Swain. There is a lot of foul territory here in Cheyenne at Powers Park. If you foul the ball up in the air, it's almost like the Major League Baseball equivalent of Oakland Alameda Coliseum as far as foul territory is concerned. Ball is hit to Hollick. He hits it right back to the pitcher. Seeley with an underhand dish to the first baseman, Hayden Swain, and that will retire the side and strand a Marion Sailor at third base. So that great triple with 2 outs by a Marion Sailor does not produce a run. And through 4.5 innings of play here in the middle of inning number 5, it is the Cheyenne post 6 Sixers 7 and your post 22 Rapid City Hardhats 3. You're watching Hardhats TV. Glad to have you with us. We thank all of our fine sponsors that include William and Pam Schmegel, Buffalo Wings and Rings, Hardhats TV, also proudly sponsored by Mainline Contracting, and Floyd's Truck Center. Mike Fell with you under the sunshine here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. You hear Cheyenne in so many different country music songs. Always trying to make it time by Cheyenne, and it's just one of those great cities of the West. And of course, Cheyenne Frontier Days, the daddy of them all. Always a concert that draws some of the finest country music singers of all time, and it is always packed. Cheyenne in the southeast part of the great state of Wyoming. the second largest city. A lot of people think it's the largest city. It's not. Casper is the largest city of Wyoming. How about the tradition as River Walters goes to work here in the bottom of the fifth with ball one?
1-0.
How about the tradition, the Hardhats with 44 South Dakota state championships all time, and post six here in Cheyenne with 36 Wyoming state championships all time. It looks like there was quite a drought from 1965 to 1974, or perhaps post six might have about as many as the Hardhats. River Walters throws over for strike one. Now here comes another pitch, and that's outside for ball two. So the count is 2-1.
2-1 to Reisdorfer.
Leading by the count of 7-3, and here's the pitch.
Swing and a miss.
And
Even it up.
there's a swing and a miss. Good pitch there by River Walters. So the count is 2-2. We're just starting the
2-2.
fifth inning.
Reisdorfer.
Ethan Reisdorfer is the hitter, the number 8 hitter in the Sixers lineup.
Reisdorfer was staying there battling. That was
Ethan able to hit the ball foul towards the third base bag. Hayden Hollick, what a marvelous job he does playing the hot corner. Here comes the pitch from River Walters, and that's a swing and a miss. Nope, he just barely got a piece of that pitch to extend this at-bat as the count remains at 2-2 to Ethan Reisdorfer. Here comes the pitch to Reisdorfer. River Walters winds, fires, and the ball is struck hard to third. Backhanded play by Hollick, and they're going to say the ball went foul. And so the count remains at 2-2 with nobody out here in Cheyenne. You're watching Hardhats TV, or you're listening to the ball game on Fox Sports 1150. There's a swing and a miss. Strike three by Ethan Reisdorfer. Great play by River Walters. For River, that's 2 strikeouts in an inning and a third of work to this point. And now Cade Coates, who bats in the number 9 hole, will step into the batter's box. Right-hander on right-hander, and the ball is popped up. Great bunt. Throw to first is in time. Super play by the backstop for the Hardhats. That was a great defensive play by the catcher for the Hardhats. Alex Dietrich did a great job of presenting his glove on that great piece of defense there by the Hardhats. River Walters, 2 up, 2 down, pitching very well in relief here in the 5th inning and previously in the 4th inning. Here comes Walters, pitch to the leadoff hitter, Mason Tafoya. Pitch to Tafoya is low and away, and count is even at 1-1. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. The post six Sixers leading 7-3. Ball hit to Hollick. Hollick throw to first in time, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for the post 22 Hardhats. River Walters, with some great help from his infield defense, gets the 1-2-3 inning to work out, and just like that, the Hardhats keep the score close. It's post 6-7. It's the post 22 Hardhats 3. You're watching Hardhats TV. We'll be back with the Hardhats half of the 6th inning coming up in a matter of moments. This is Hardhats TV.
Sports bumpers. Thank you.
Follow the event brought to you by Bank of the West. Now is for the Cheyenne Post Sixers. Number 16.
Well, we get ready to bring you the top half of the sixth inning. Looking at the bottom of the fifth, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base for the post six Sixers. And now Corey Williams will come in to replace Seeley, the starting pitcher, who is the pitcher of record. He was able to deliver 5 innings of 3-hit baseball, and it was really a great outing by Cade Seeley, the starting pitcher for the post six Sixers. And so that now brings us into the late innings. Let's see here in the top of the sixth if the Hardhats are able to pull off a rally. You get the sense the Hardhats are not done yet. You say that because I say that because Marion Saylor had that triple, that 2-out triple last inning, and man, was the defense just sharp as attack in the bottom of the fifth inning behind River Walters, as the Hardhats certainly did a fine job to be able to put themselves in a position to keep this score within 4 runs. Can the Hardhats remain undefeated? They need 4 runs to tie, 5 runs to take the lead. There's still time, but Hardhats are down to their final 6 outs. As we get ready to go, we'll see if Corey Williams, the relief pitcher for post 6 in Cheyenne, is effective.
So for the Hardhats, we'll have to
Hardhats
double check.
will bring Harrison Good and Alex Dietrich and Tate Crossweight to the plate here in the top half of the 6th inning.
Ball 1. Harrison Good leading things off.
Here comes the pitch from Williams to Harrison Good here in the top of the 6th, and there's a foul ball well out of play by Harrison. Count is even at 1-1. The post 22 Hardhats trying to rally and get to 4-0 to start the year. They've got their work cut out for them. They're down by 4 here in the top half of the 6th inning. Williams, a hard-throwing right-hander, really dealing so far. That last pitch was low and inside for ball 2. Harrison Good, an outstanding ball player who hits in the cleanup spot for Kelvin Torvey, chops a foul ball back to the fence. And the count now squares at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Harrison. Harrison Good with Alex Dietrich on deck. Tate Crossweight is in the hole as we begin the top half of the 6th inning. Here comes a pitch, and that's swing and a miss. Strike 3 on Harrison Good. Harrison chased the pitch well outside the strike zone. And now Alex Dietrich will come to bat. Alex Dietrich looking to get something big going. 2 runs here in the 6th inning. That would be big. Ball is skied to right field. The right fielder has a beat on it and makes the grab. That is out number 2 as Alex Dietrich flies out to the right fielder, Ethan Riesdorfer, and that makes it 2 outs and nobody on for Tate Crossweight. Tate, let's see what happens next. Hardhats down by 4 runs, really running into trouble out of the Sixers bullpen here, with Tate Williams just delivering with speed and accuracy, and just like that, it's an 0-1 count to Tate Crossweight. Here comes the pitch to Crossweight. It's outside for a ball. Count is 1-1. We're glad you're with us. We apologize for the lack of video. We are audio only on Hardhats TV. We just seem to have some technical issues. I got some help from last year's voice of the Hardhats, Adam Birch. He helped me out, but we were not able to get that picture. I don't know if it's something with the camera we're using or if it's something with our settings. Folks, believe me, I gave it the college try, the high school try, and the professional try. And best we can do is connect with audio, and that's what we're going to do as we bring you a radio broadcast here on Hardhats TV and on Fox Sports 1150. 2-2 count to take Crossweight with 2 outs, and Crossweight fouls it out of play. It's a beautiful facility where we are today, Powers Park. Not a lot to look at, but on a clear day and even on a foggy day, I think you can see Chick-fil-A beyond the center field wall, and I know that it's just not fair for me to mention to all of us Hard Hat fans because somehow Rapid City doesn't have a Chick-fil-A yet. Hopefully we'll get one sometime in our lifetime. The ball is fouled off the light pole and the roof of the home dugout. Tate really got a pitch there. 2-2 count, 2 out, nobody on. Hardhats trailing 7-3 here in Cheyenne in game 1 of this doubleheader on a blustery spring afternoon here on the final weekend of the month of April. Here comes the pitch, swing and a miss, and Williams able to strike out Tate Crossweight for out number 3, and with 2 Ks, it's a 1-2-3 top of the 6th for Corey Williams and the post 6 Sixers. There's no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base, and through 5.5 innings of action, it's the post 6 Sixers from Cheyenne leading 7-3 over your post 22 Hardhats. You're watching Hardhats TV and listening to Hardhats TV on Fox Sports 1150.
Or you can go into the 4 o'clock hour if you want. I got them all set up in there for you. Well, if you want to, Jim. I don't want to screw you up.
Glad to have you with us. What a day for a ball game. What a great place to be. Cheyenne, Wyoming. I found out that we are at about 57 low elevation point. Rapid City at about 3,700 feet above sea level. But when you're playing baseball in this kind of thin air, and keep in mind, Legion baseball, unlike Colorado Rockies baseball, does not feature balls being placed in a humidor. That certainly makes it so that you can drive the ball out of here with a great swing. Colter McAnally, the superstar for the post 6 Sixers, leads things off if he gets on base. Williams, Corey Williams, and Warren Swain will come up to bat. 1-2-3 here in the 6th inning. McAnally able to drive a great shot down to the left fielder, and that's a stand-up leadoff double for Colter McAnally. McAnally, rather. I can say McAnally. He is able to get the leadoff double and off of River Walters. He's done a fine job holding the post 6 Sixers off the scoreboard since he came in for Hayden Lighty, the starting pitcher, who had a rough afternoon for the Hardhats. Pitch to Corey Williams, the left-handed hitter with a man at second, is outside for ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning in game 1 of this doubleheader. The Hardhats are down 7-3. It's not looking good for us Hardhats fans, but you never know. This is baseball. The only lock in baseball is the one they put on the gate. Ball is hit deep down the left field line, and it is foul. Zeke Farley was unable to reach that ball before it hit the artificial turf here at Powers Park. So we'll do it all over again. 0-1 pitch coming up from River Walters to Corey Williams, the number 3 hitter in the lineup for post 6. Coulter McAnally leading off at second base. There's a pitch inside for a 2-1 count. Corey Williams awaits the pitch from Walters. Nobody out, man at second. Pitch is outside for a ball, and now the count evens at 1-1. Williams with a 1-2-3 inning a moment ago when he was out on the mound. He came in from left field, and what an impact what Corey Williams has had, because Williams was able to get to that ball against the screen, and Williams has just drawn a walk, and now there are 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th as the post 6 Sixers trying to get some valuable insurance runs, leading 7-3. Post 6 with a dozen hits today, and we are in the bottom of the 6th inning in this one. Corey Williams is at first base. Coulter McAnally is at second with a leadoff. He had a leadoff double, and now here comes Hayden Swain. Swain with a chance to
set up their defense with nobody out here in the
really break this game wide open. Here comes the pitch forthcoming from Hayden Swain.
River Walters takes a long look in.
River Walters fires a pitch way out. It almost looked like a pitch out there.
1-0.
The Hardhats trying to avoid their first loss of the year. You know, the thing about baseball is no matter what you do, you're probably going to lose a third of your games. You're certainly going to win a third of your games. It's what you do with that middle third of your schedule that usually determines the season you're going to have. There's a swing and a foul to make the count even at 1-1. Of course, the Hardhats, the defending South Dakota State champions, 44-time South Dakota champions against the post 6 Sixers, who happen to have 36 Wyoming state titles to their trophy case. There's a swing. No, there's a pitch over the outside corner for a strike.
First of 2 Sixer first baseman Hayden Swain.
Hayden Swain waiting for the pitch in a matter of moments here from River Walters, who is working his 3rd inning out of the bullpen. Here comes the pitch. Swain hits it deep but high. It's going back to the warning track, and it is caught, and there will not be a tag play, as Colton McAnally thought that ball was going to either go out of the park or land in the outfield, and he had to jog back to second. So what a great play there for the Hardhats. Out number 1, Hayden Swain retired on a fly out to center field. Good play right there by Marion Saylor in center. He had to go a distance to come up with that catch. Now here comes Pearson. Pearson coming up to hit with 2 on and only 1 out. But Braden Pearson, who is 0 for 1 on the afternoon, batting 5th in the lineup for post 6, will try to do some damage here. with runners at first and second. Pitch is a swing and a miss to Braden Pearson. So here comes an 0-2 pitch coming up from post 22. It has just been a very efficient outing for River Walters out of the Hardhats bullpen today. And there's strike three as Braden Pearson is caught looking, and that is the third strikeout for River Walters since he came out of the visitors' bullpen here at Powers Park in Cheyenne. Now coming up to bat is Anderson, the catcher. The Hardhats trying to get Nelly, and they delivered a walk to Corey Williams, but since then the Hardhats able to get 2 outs. And now the first pitch is outside for a ball to Anderson. Let's see if River Walters can strand a pair of runners for Cheyenne post number 6. Here comes the pitch to Anderson from Walters, and that pitch is over for strike 1. The umpire really giving those outside pitches to the pitchers for both ball clubs today. If you're going to not swing at these pitches, there most likely will be consequences. 1-1 pitch coming up to Anderson for Cheyenne post 6. The pitch is hit, is a dribbler to first. That should be easy. And running to the bag is Dietrich, and that'll retire the side. Alex Dietrich with a unassisted put out at first base is able to strand McAnally and Williams on the base paths for post 6, and through 6 innings of play, it is post 6 Sixers from Cheyenne with 7 runs, and your post 22 Hardhats with 3 runs. In the bottom of the 6th inning, post 6 had a total of 1 hit. They did not score. There were no errors, and 2 men were left on base. Through 6 innings of play here at Powers Park, it's Rapid City post 22 with 3 runs, and the Cheyenne post 6 Sixers lead with 7. We now move to the top half of the 7th inning. Last chance for the Hardhats to try to dig deep and come up with a big inning. We're happy to have you with us today. It is springtime. It's the final weekend of April, and nothing like baseball this time of year. The Hardhats, they led 1-0 after the top half of the first inning, but then 4 runs were put on the board in the bottom of the first by the post 6 Sixers, and the Sixers were able to withstand a potential tying rally in the top of the 3rd when there was a great play from Corey Williams on a relay throw to third baseman Mason Tafoya, who then fired to Anderson at the plate to gun down Harrison Good on a bang-bang play. Good trying to score all the way from first base on a 2-run double that was delivered by the Hardhats, Alex Dietrich. After that momentum-changing play at the plate that retired the side in the top of the 3rd, post 6 was able to put 3 runs on the board off of Hardhats starter Hayden Leidy, and they have been leading 7-3 after 3 innings, and now we start the 7th. There's a bunt attempt, and there's an out. Great play there by Corey Williams. He got off the mound, throw to first, and retires the leadoff man for post 22. What a great job by
Ground number one.
Ground out to third base.
Wyatt Reeder, the
Corey
second
Williams.
baseman, steps to the plate.
Wyatt Reeder now comes up to bat for the
It's 0-2.
Hardhats.
Grounded out to Hoya, grounded out to Coates.
Wyatt Reeder, the
It's a fastball for a called strike.
second baseman for Kelvin Torvey and the Hardhats.
Corey Weir wants to do is
Will try to get on base any way he can. First pitch is fouled away for a strike to Wyatt Reeder. Reeder going to swing, pop it up. It's playable in center and caught by the post 6-6er center fielder,
So Pearson making the grab.
Braden Pearson.
Gloves it for
And now the Hardhats are down to their final out here in the seventh inning.
Right out to Coates, who didn't even
Look at Corey Williams, his first look.
made the grab.
Williams.
And now Wilson Kiefer will come to bat here in the bottom of the seventh inning, representing the last hope for the Hardhats.
2 outs in the top of the seventh.
Wilson Kiefer,
Sixers with the lead.
the shortstop,
Delivers,
gets a
fastball,
pitch, hits it
line
to
out.
center, and it is going to be caught for the final out of the game. Great catch by Braden Pearson on the dead run, and it's a 1-2-3 top of the seventh inning. Neither team scores after the third inning of play, but post 6 did their damage early, and they did their damage often. And the post 6 Sixers raised their record to 10-2, and the Hardhats dropped to 3-1 on the year, and will look to try to get a split of this doubleheader coming up in about 20 minutes from now. You are listening to Hardhats TV and Hardhats Baseball on Fox Sports 1150 in Rapid City. Glad to have you with us. The final score in the game just completed in game 1 of our doubleheader. It's the post 6 Sixers from Cheyenne, Wyoming, winning 7-3 over the post 22 Hardhats. The Sixers, with 12 hits and no errors. The Hardhats with only 3 hits, and also the Hardhats playing good defense, not committing any errors. And we have an impressive victory to report for the post 6 Sixers. They got it done. They really got after it in the early innings, putting up 4 runs in the first inning, 3 runs in the third, and it was simply an insurmountable lead for the Sixers when they got up 7-3 after the third inning was completed. We're going to just take about a 5-minute timeout, and I'm going to continue to fiddle around with connections and wires and see if we can't get a picture for the second game here on Hardhats TV. Mike Fell filling in for Oliver Fell. This is our first road trip of the season, and you know, we have 2 out of 3 things. I guess if you are a fan of Meatloaf's philosophy or Yogi Berra's philosophy, the 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You'll take it. But we have the audio for you. We have the connectivity on Hardhats TV for you with our mobile internet, but we just do not have that picture. I'm going to take another run at it here in the next 5 minutes, and then when I come back, I'll try to get you ready to go for game 2 of our doubleheader. The post 6 Sixers win 7-3 over the Hardhats. Hardhats now 3-1 on the season, and post 6 in Cheyenne now an impressive 10-2 on the year. You're listening to Hardhats Baseball and Hardhats TV on Fox Sports Post 22 radio coverage on 1150 AM and 105.7 FM. I will take a 5-minute break and see if we can't get the picture. This is
Williams
live
was
post
1 for
22
3 with
action
the
from
run
Cheyenne,
scored and
Wyoming.
RBI. Hayden Swain, 2 for 4 with a run scored, also with an RBI. Braden Pearson was 1 for 4 with a run scored and a run batted in. Caden Anderson, 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Bradley Peter was 1 for 2 with a run scored and also an RBI. Reisdorfer 1 for 3. He also drove in a run, scored a run, struck out once. Coates was 1 for 3 and post 6, pounding out 12 hits as a team. 7 runs, out hitting Rapid City.
Jimmy talked
12 to 3 with the 7-3 win over the Rapid City Hardhats. Game 2 scheduled for 3:30. We'll have that for you right here on KFBC, and we'll sell it back to CBS Sports Radio until we get ready for that Game 2 of the doubleheader here at Powers.
All right.
You're listening to Post 6 Baseball on
Since we didn't get a chance to get free,
KFBC.
I'm gonna step away to the bathroom. I'll come back to you here in about 3-4 minutes, all right? All right.
Great
I'll
job,
talk to you in a
Randy.
bit.
Thank
Just
you.
keep it in queue. All right, bye.
I'm gonna disconnect this app that I'm on my phone to see if I can actually get the good tie line to work. Okay. So I'm gonna be disconnected from this for just a little bit. Oh, nothing works. It's fun. Well, I guess I don't need to tell you that right now, do I?
Those reminds me of the yellow cards that you start to get more liberally in high school soccer.
Yeah, we started, but thankfully I don't know that we've ever had to use one. We, correction, we have ours, rapid, motion. That's the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I know there's one game today.
Larry's broadcasting.
Yeah. What if I move this case?
What's that?
If I move this
Oh,
case?
yeah, please do. I'm sorry. My apologies.
No problem.
Want it to be in the way. Sorry about that.
Just the ability for people to turn 2 spaces into 1 or 3 spaces into 1. Just never ceases to amaze me.
Reese, you good? Need anything?
Well, I need a lot of things, Aaron, but
Well, I mean,
nothing that you can
I
probably.
was gonna say, there's some things I can't help with there, big guy. I can't even help myself with those
Why
things.
this thing will not we got our internet tower over here. We just got this from Verizon, and it's got a. We're connected. We've got internet, but it won't. This will not connect. They do not. So I got. I'm using my phone app with this tiny little headset, and I absolutely hate that.
And it worked last week.
Well, no, I used this last week.
Oh.
I used my phone app last week.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if you, I want to just put on a normal headset and try to cut down on all the noise. I wonder if I need to type in the address.
does. You have to connect it to the Wi-Fi, the internet box?
It is.
Oh, well, okay.
And it is. I mean, I did this. We got this thing yesterday. Went down, turned it on. Everything worked fine. Get here today.
It hates you.
It's not working.
Even there's Jeremiah.
It's just disconnect. Internal error code. There is something wrong.
Internal error.
I've unplugged it. I've done everything I can possibly do, other than just drop it out the window.
Which is an option at this point in time.
Alright. Now we just need lineups and we'll be good to go. When in doubt, unplug everything.
That's actually what my IT people do.
No.
Went to one of them yesterday. I said,
The thing
my
I really
scanner's
wanted
not
to look
working.
for was that
She
swag
came
sale.
in,
See if
looked,
I could
unplugged it,
find
plugged it
out
back in.
if
It worked.
give me a shit there.
I'm like, come on, man.
That started at noon. So I'm sure it's been well picked over by now.
I'm sure it has something to do with this.
Oh, mercy.
I'm back, Jimmy. I think we probably got about another 15 more minutes of music we can play. Yeah.
So what?
Okay. Well, again, I think we're probably about 15 minutes away from game 2. So you should have enough music, right? Yeah. Okay. Just go ahead. Check back with me here. Let's see, it's 3 o'clock. Check back with me about 3:10. All right. Sounds good. All right.
Oh, hey. Didn't realize that was you. You found the kids in?
Yeah.
Bring anything for Larry?
I have this really great bag that makes a great trash can. It's super reusable.
No, just bring a funeral home next to it.
crush out of those.
Thank you.
There's also the smokehouse bacon almonds. He was told not to eat them all. They also have fruit.
Yeah, I guess
Because that's all I have to offer.
there is a blanket in my car. I made sure she's sunscreened up with Tootsie, so.
I saw that.
But then she's not sitting in the sun.
No, she is not at all.
God, I miss those.
They say, how old is your daughter now?
My daughter's turning 29 this year.
Okay. And she's your youngest.
Yeah. Oh. No one's ever knocked on my door and said, hey, Dad.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't have anything else to offer her in my car besides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can offer her some flip flops
Well, the
from
funny thing
last
about
summer.
the other funny thing is that our son had that hoodie on, right? And he goes to take it off. He's like, you know, it's probably gonna be too hot for the hoodie. And then as we're leaving, he's like, oh, I'm probably gonna need a jacket. Oh, you just took the hoodie down.
Welcome back, everybody. We're glad you're with us from Cheyenne, Wyoming.
So, yeah.
We're in between games. The first game was won by the Post 6 Sixers from Cheyenne, Wyoming, 7-3. We apologize again, folks. We have all of our equipment here, but for some unknown reason, and boy, have I tried. I've really tried, ladies and gentlemen, not able to get the camera to stream into our software that brings you the picture. And the camera seems to be working fine. Our computer's working fine. Our cords are plugged in. But for some unknown reason, we are not able to be able to get the picture that the camera is showing us into our Hardhats TV software. And I don't know if it's, we've tried multiple cables, switch things up. If I had to take a guess, it's something temperamental with our capture card, but that's the device we use that takes it in. But at the end of the day, we just do the best we can do, and we're happy to have you with us here on Hardhats TV. We're getting ready to go with ready for game number 2 to start up, and Lee Negebauer, the hard-throwing left-hander, will be out there for the Hardhats as Post 22 will try to get a split of this doubleheader in this 3-game series. We'll be with you tomorrow morning, bright and early. We will be with you at 10:30 local time, and yeah, I do. Yeah, perfect. And really happy to have you with us. Yeah, it's just the camera. Everything else is great. So,
Yeah, I almost stood down there for this next game. Because it's really good down there.
It does. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know if you could see.
we're getting our lineup cards here in the booth, and we just are happy to have you with us today. And we're getting some help. Maybe we can get this going. All right, we're getting closer to bringing you the action. We're going to have starting lineups coming your way in a matter of moments here. We've got the lineup card for Post 22. Post 22 will be leading things off in the second game. Lee Negebauer will be out there trying to start 2-0 on the year in the bottom half of the first inning. And the game is, looks like I see Darren Good coming over. I think he got the lineup card for the post 6 Sixers. So get ready for an exciting second game, and I will just share with you the game will have my undivided attention. I am done tinkering with the technical issues that have just been unable today to give us a picture from the camera to the software that we stream with, and this is a very unusual problem. I broadcast games for St. Thomas More High School, and this has never been a problem that we've had with those broadcasts, and so this is a very unique problem, one that I have not encountered before, and we just hopefully will be able to pull through and be in better position. Don't know if it's a issue with the camera or an issue with the software or it's an issue with the cords. I think it's an issue with a device that streams for us, but I'm curious about the camera settings. But this is way above, when it comes to camera settings, it's way above what I am used to dealing with. So that's our situation. We'll just be bringing you a radio style broadcast on Hardhats TV for game 2, unless through some miracle we can get ourselves a picture, and we're sure trying to make that happen. We've been trying to make it happen for a couple hours now, but we're just at that point where it looks. Hardhats. Thank you, Darren. We'll look at the lineups for a moment. As we make our way towards first pitch. It's a nice day, spring day for baseball. Temperature in the low 60s here in Cheyenne. I think the winds have died down a little bit. They were really howling earlier. And Kelvin Torvey told me he thought he had heard the winds were going to dissipate or kind of die down as the day goes along, and that may be what happens. Being around Cheyenne, just driving through Cheyenne so many times, I can tell you this has to be the high-profile wind warning capital of America. You always see these announcements that saying, watch out for high-profile vehicles. With myself being originally from Omaha, Nebraska, when I first heard the phrase high-profile vehicles, I thought they were talking about a Mercedes-Benz or some type of luxury car as a high-profile vehicle. But nope, that, of course, as we know in our part of the world, involves a trailer or something that could be blown over or tipped over with high crosswinds. Well, we're getting closer and closer to game number 2.
Jimmy?
We'll get ready to bring you the lineups in a moment here.
Let's see here.
Let's go ahead and jump in with the starting lineups. We'll start first for post 22. Zeke Farley will lead off and play in the left field position for the Hardhats today.
No, why don't you go ahead and just send it to me?
Batting second,
Okay.
Marion Saylor for the Hardhats. For post 22, batting third in the lineup, Hayden Hollick. Batting fourth in the cleanup spot, it's right fielder Harrison Good. Hitting fifth for the Hardhats this afternoon, first baseman Alex Dietrich. Batting sixth, it's designated hitter Tate Crosswaite. Hitting seventh, it is the second baseman Peyton Tipton. Batting eighth, Philip Benz. Philip gets the start at catcher in game 2 of this doubleheader in this series. And then batting ninth, it'll be Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop. So for Kelvin Torvey and the 3-1 post 22 Hardhats, it's Farley, Saylor, Hollick, Good, Dietrich, Crosswaite, Tipton, Benz, and Kiefer. Looking at the starting lineups for the 10-2 Sixers from post 6 here in Cheyenne. Leading off and playing third base, it's Mason Tafoya. Hitting second, a young man with a very high amount of recognition and praise around this part of the country. Shortstop Coulter McAnally batting third. Corey Williams. Corey's playing left field. Corey made a marvelous play to help set up that play at the plate back in the top half of the third inning of game one today. Batting fourth and playing catcher, it's Hayden Swan. Hitting fifth in the lineup for manager Ty Lane for post 6 is Nolan Horton, the center fielder. Batting seventh and batting sixth rather, and playing DH, it's Landon McAnally. Batting seventh, it's Ethan Reinsdorfer. Batting eighth for Coach Lane and the Sixers, it's right fielder Anthony Pacheco. And rounding out the lineup for Ty Lane and batting second, it's Cade Coates. So for the Sixers, it's Tafoya, McAnally, Williams, Swan, Horton, McAnally, Landon McAnally, and Reisdorf, Pacheco, and Coates. The starting pitcher for the Sixers is Bradley Feaser. And that's a look at your starting lineup for the 10-2 post 6 Sixers.
We welcome you back to
getting closer and closer to opening pitch, first pitch, and want to give a general manager Wayne Sullivan and I'm going to take any suggestions anybody has that's outside the box. If you know how to send me a text, I'll take any advice. We're doing our best, folks. We've been trying since we got here to successfully bring you video, but unfortunately we and even Adam Birch, last year's broadcaster who brought you all the exciting road games for post 22 baseball, unable to get to a resolution point where we could bring you the video pictures. So we'll try to sort through the issues between after tonight's game and tomorrow's game. We'll keep giving it a go as best we can. Don't know sometimes if it's the camera, if it's the equipment, or if it's something else, but at the end of the day, at least we have something, and that is our radio call here on Hardhats TV. My name is Mike Fell. I am the proud father of Oliver Fell. Oliver is the voice of Hardhats TV. If Oliver was here, I'm almost afraid to say it. I bet he would have fixed the problem, but Oliver's back from Phoenix. He's in Denver now, and he is finished with his freshman year. Couldn't be more proud of you, son, if you're listening. Love you, son. The Hardhats voice, Oliver Fell, will be with you coming your way a week from Tuesday when the Hardhats host the Legion team from Gillette. I'll be with you live from Billings next weekend, and then I'll have the game for you at home on Tuesday night as the Hardhats will host Spearfish. So it's going to be some fun baseball. We'll have it for you on Hardhats TV. We had no problem getting you a picture when we were at home, which kind of suggests that we have either an equipment issue or a settings issue. We bring our video to you differently at home. We actually use a transmitter system. Here, we're able to just plug directly into our camera, which is right directly next to our equipment, so in our broadcast booth. So hopefully we're able to sort through this between now and tomorrow, and again, maybe someone will come into the booth and be able to fix it for us. But right now, on this 60-degree day here in Cheyenne, we're just getting ready to go with our radio-only broadcast here on Hardhats TV. Great coverage in the booth here at Powers Park. There's 2 radio stations in the Cheyenne area covering the game today, and always impressive when you see competing radio stations covering a team. It just shows how impressively strong the following is for the teams here in Cheyenne that are bringing you this action. Again, we've given you the starting lineups for the Hardhats. Zeke Farley will start things off in the leadoff position. Marion Saylor, who had that impressive stand-up triple in the first game, is going to hit second. Hayden Hollick will be hitting third and playing third. Talk about your symmetry right there, I guess. And batting in the leadoff position is Harrison Good, whose proud father Darren Good gave me the lineups for tonight's game. Alex Dietrich will bat fifth in the lineup for the 3-1 Hardhats. Batting sixth will be Tate Crossway.
You got 2 minutes and then send it back out.
Peyton Tipton will bat seventh. Batting eighth will be Peyton Tipton. Rather, batting seventh will be Peyton Tipton. Batting eighth will be Philip Benz, the catcher. And Wilson Kiefer will bat in the number 9 hole for Coach Torvey today. So that's a look at our lineup as I fill out my lineup card here. And we're expecting a really good game. I mean, if you look at how well Lee Negebauer pitched in that shutout performance, that dominant shutout performance, the junior left-handed ace, if he can pitch like that again today, I think the Hardhats have a real chance to pull out a split. And if Lee Negebauer is off a little bit, I think it's anyone's guess. But if Lee Negebauer pitches like the ace that he is this year, and I was told by a Hardhat fan that there's a difference between Lee last year where sometimes he would throw and now he pitches, and what a pitcher he is. It's going to be great to see what Lee Negebauer does in the second start of the game with the entire week's rest coming your way today. So Lee Negebauer will draw the start for Kelvin Torvey. Hanging in the balance here for post 22. If they can get the split, they can force tomorrow's game as the rubber match of the series. And if the Hardhats can win, they can celebrate a 4-1 record tonight as they will head to Chick-fil-A after this game and then on to the team hotel. So it is a beautiful sunny day for baseball. 60 degrees is the temperature at first pitch. I'm going to verify that. I'm going to go ahead and verify that temperature here. I think we're at 60 degrees. Oh, well, we were when we had the first pitch. Let's see if we moved up a little bit. Yep, we're 63 degrees at first pitch with partly sunny skies here in the capital city of Wyoming. Want to thank Bubba. He was the bus driver. He got us down here, and thank you, Bubba, for being a great driver. When he made his turns, he impressed the passengers. I heard a couple of woos of approval or applause from some of the Hardhats and some of the Expos who also made the trip down. The Post 22 Expos are playing at a ballpark near Powers Park where we are right now, and then was told that Harrison Larson a cadet player, a 12-year-old cadet player this week, had such an impressive hit that he crushed the ball, and that Harrison Larson not only crushed the pitch, but his swing, if you just saw his swing, you would swear it came from like a college player or a pro player. So remember that name, Harrison Larson. He's one of the cadets, but he absolutely crushed a pitch this week, and boy, were the coaches excited when they talked about Harrison Larson's tremendous contact that he recorded earlier this week. You're watching Hardhats TV or listening to Hardhats TV. Happy to have you with us for Game 2 of this doubleheader. We'll get to the lineups for the
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Power Field.
Post 6
Game 2 of this doubleheader
Sixers from
between
Cheyenne
Post 6
in a
and
matter of
Rapid
moments.
City Hardhats. Post 6 taking game 1 7-3 behind a very strong pitching performance from Hayden Seeley and Corey Williams coming on in relief. Let's run down the starting lineup.
See if we can get the starting lineups to you from
at first base will be Ethan Reisdorfer, second base Racanelli at short.
starting lineups for the
Will be holding down third base. Corey Williams
Sixers. Mason Tafoya will lead off for the Sixers.
Catcher Hayden Swain and Bradley Beezer is on the bump to start things for Post 6 here against
Colton
City.
McAnally will bat second. Corey Williams will bat third. And we are ready to go. Let's go ahead and start this ball game. Bradley Feezer on the mound for the Sixers, and we will begin game number 2 of the doubleheader right now. And I hope you sit back and enjoy our Hardhats TV broadcast. Again, we apologize, no video. We seem to have an issue with our equipment or a connection or our camera. We're not sure what. Boy, have we tried to sort it out. I have no idea. And now here we go. Feezer's first pitch is over for strike 1. His second pitch to Zeke Farley is over for strike 2. We've got a pair of aces going at it today, and Feezer with a lot of heat able to strike Farley with a high fastball right there, and we are underway. And Marion Saylor checks in, the right-handed hitter who had a stand-up triple back in inning number 5 of the first game. Here comes the pitch to Saylor, and it is behind the catcher, Hayden Swain. 0-1 is the count. 0-1 is the count to a Marion Saylor. Saylor digs in, waits for the pitch from Feezer, and that pitch is outside for a ball. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to a Marion Saylor. Saylor waits, and Saylor able to lay off of a low pitch out of the strike zone. The 2-1 count now facing a Marion Saylor. Hardhats trying to get on base. They scored a run in the top half of the first inning last game. That was the only time they had the lead, as they relinquished their lead and gave up 4 runs in the bottom half of that first inning. Here comes the next pitch, and there's ball 4. And Marion Saylor is on base with a base on balls. And here comes Hayden Hollick, the third baseman, trying to get something going for the Hardhats. The Hardhats today are in their road grays with the red numerals and red hard hats. Rapid City across the front. Here comes the pitch, and it is over for a strike. Hayden Hollick
Sailor, a threat to
with an 0-1 count, waiting for the next pitch
On the mound.
in a moment here
Game one.
Hollick.
Will dig in from the
from
right side.
Feezer. That second pitch is a curveball over for strike two. What a curveball that was. It started at 3 o'clock and wound up at 6 o'clock right there. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Hayden Hollick with Sailor leading off first with 1 out. Pitch from Brad Feezer is actually going to be a pickoff move, and Sailor able to get back. Boy, did Brad Feezer disguise that pickoff move. That was a lightning quick pickoff move for such a big young man. Here comes we think, the 0-2 pitch to Hollick, and that's a swing and a miss, strike three. A pair of strikeouts setting the tone so far for Bradley Feezer, as there are 2 down and 1 man now at first for Harrison Good, who comes up to bat. With Harrison Good, you always know it's a matter of time before he does something special. Let's see what Harrison Good can do here with a man on first and 2 outs. Sailor takes off. Good pops it up to right field. It's playable, and it is caught for out number 3. And Brad Feezer is able to retire the side as Good flies out to right field. And through the opening half inning of play, the Hardhats had no hits, no runs, there were no errors, and there was 1 man left on base. We go to the middle of the first inning with the Sixers coming up to bat, and no score here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. You're watching Hardhats TV.
Another lineup for the post 22 Hardhats. Left fielder number 28, Pete Marley. Center fielder number 13, Maureen Sailor. Third base number 20, Hayden Hollick. Right field number 14, Harrison Good. First baseman number 27, Alex Petite. DH number 29, Tate Crossley. Second baseman number 10, Creighton Pittman. Catching number 11, Philip Benitez. Shortstop number 15, Wilson Keeper. And pitching number 12,
And welcome back to
Nagel.
Powers Field. Sixers will come to play as it will be Tafoya McAdoo.
Welcome back to Powers Field as we move to the bottom of the first. Post 6, first appearance at the dish here in Game 2. Leading things off will be Mason Tafoya, followed by Coulter McAnally, Corey Williams, all due up into this half of the first. On the mound for Rapid City will be Lee Negebauer, the lefty.
Neil Bauer for the
He has pretty good off-speed stuff. Philip Benz, the catcher. Dietrich at first, Tipton second, Kiefer short.
Welcome back, everybody. We get ready to go with the bottom of the second inning of play.
Right field for the Hardhats.
And we are thrilled to
Swain, Wharton,
bring you
Pacheco, and Coates
Hardhats TV
for the Sixers.
as we get ready to go on the bottom of the first inning. Leading things off will be Mason Tafoya.
In game 1. Tafoya, the righty.
leading things off.
Mason Tafoya is the third baseman, playing the hot corner for Ty Lane and the 10-2 Sixers of Cheyenne. Here comes the first pitch from Lee Negebauer, a tie for ball 1. So Lee Negebauer last Saturday night, with the temperature in the mid-30s, much colder than it is today in the low 60s, he was able to scatter a couple hits but deliver a shutout through 4 innings of work. We'll see if Lee can do something like that today against a very good Cheyenne team. Negebauer works his count to 2-1. Mason Tafoya
Back here to baseball.
trying to get something started here for Cheyenne. Pitch to Tafoya is fouled out of play for a ball.
Play.
Count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Colton McAnally, the
1-2.
superstar
Here in the,
for Cheyenne, is on deck to lead things off here in the first inning of game 2 of this doubleheader. The first game was won 7-3 by post 6.
Fills it up. Runs the count full. 3-2.
The Hardhats led early 1-0, but trailed most of the game. Here comes a outside pitch. It's a ball. Now next pitch is over for a strike, and that's an opening strikeout for Lee Negebauer here in the bottom of the first. That was a 3-2 pitch, and man alive, that was a great pitch by Lee Negebauer. Lee Negebauer taking the big jump to ace status with his ace stuff. Here comes the pitch to Colton McAnally with the second at bat in the inning, and the ball is fair. Nope, they're going to say it was foul, just foul beyond the third base bag. Hayden Hollick had a good angle on that bouncer there, and the throw to first was unnecessary. Playable, being called for by Dietrich. He may have a play, and he does not have a play as the ball carried beyond the fence down the right field line. Good effort there by Alex Dietrich, but he was unable to come up with that play right there. Lee Negebauer working effectively so far, 1 up and maybe and 1 down. Let's see what McAnally can do. He chases a pitch, and it's now a 1-2 count to McAnally. Here comes a pitch from Lee Negebauer. The ball is hit towards third. Again, it's foul. Not being cheated up there. He's getting his hacks. He just hasn't been able to get that pitch lifted into fair territory. Here comes Lee Negebauer's next pitch. That's low and well beyond the strike zone. And now the count moves to 2-2. Lee Negebauer facing Coulter McAnally. Colt McAnally headed to play Pac-12 baseball in Salt Lake City for Utah next year. Not every day that the Hardhats face an opponent that will have a player drives deep to center, and it is going to be caught by a Marion Saylor for out number 2. Great play there by Saylor. He was well positioned in the field, and he made the catch. And how about when I mentioned Coulter McAnally, he's headed to play baseball at Utah. How about Miss Basketball, Reese Ross from St. Thomas More? She's headed to play girls basketball at Utah next year. So Rapid City has someone playing sports at Utah next year with a scholarship, just like Cheyenne does with Coulter McAnally. Corey Williams now will hit. Williams, the left fielder, digs in, and he hits it deep to left center, and that's going to be a hit. Maybe 2. Throw to second. It's going to be close, and it'll be a slide and a double for Corey Williams with 2 outs here in the first inning. Good effort there by Zeke Farley in left. He made his throw to second base, but by the time the ball got there, Corey Williams was able to turn on the jets and slide into second with a double.
There's a lot of room in this outfield.
Now Hayden Swain, the catcher, comes up to bat. Here comes the pitch to Swain. It's fouled back for a strike 1.
Strike one.
Lee Negebauer trying to get out of this inning,
Landon McElroy.
trying to keep the score 0-0 through an inning of action.
Steps in the lineup for Sixers.
Lee Negebauer looks back and checks on Corey Williams at second, trying to keep Williams' lead tight
Takes a long look in.
and not long.
Up comes Saturday to check Williams.
Here comes the throw, and it is over for a strike. And that was a very good pitch by Lee Negebauer. Lee was really able to take something off of that pitch, and
Good off-speed.
he was able to cross the plate right there. Ball two.
That has to go up high.
Lee Negebauer, starting quarterback for St. Thomas More,
2 outs,
leading
bottom of the
scorer
first.
in the
Scoreless here at Bauer.
regionals and Sodak 16 for post 20 for St. Thomas More and boys basketball. Fires a pitch to home plate. It's drilled to left. Here comes a play at the plate, and it will be not in time. Throw to second over the second baseman's head, but the base runner had already committed to slide, and that will be an RBI. That will be an RBI single by Hayden Swain. He advances to second on the throw from Farley to the catcher,
2 first inning hits for post 6.
Philip Benz, and that will be the first run of the game. Corey Williams, who was able to get an impressive 2-out double, scores off of an RBI from Hayden Swain, and now Nolan Horton comes up to bat in the number 5 hole for Coach Lang and the Sixers. 1-0, Cheyenne post 6 leading the post 22 Hardhats. Lee Negebauer on the mound, pitching well, but giving up an early run to the Sixers.
1-1 on 2 outs. 1-0. Sixers with the lead.
Nolan Horton, right-handed hitter, working against a left-handed flamethrower, Lee Negebauer. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Ball hit softly to second. Throw to first is in time, and that will retire the side. A 4-3 putout ends the inning, but not before the post 6 Sixers score a run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 1 man was left at second base through 1 inning of play. It's post 6 1, post 22 Hardhats nothing. You're watching Hardhats TV. We'll be back with inning number 2 after this. Bradley Feeser comes back out to pitch here in the top half of the second inning. Want to give a big shout out to South Dakota Sportscaster of the Year and the voice of the Black Hills State Yellow Jackets, Steve Ammerman, and wish him the very best on this Saturday afternoon. And we are happy you're with us. Big shout out to my son Oliver Fell, the voice of the Hardhats, Hardhats TV, and certainly wish that we had the video for you. We've got our connections, we've got our audio, but we just are streaming. We just can't get that picture from the camera that works to our laptop, and we use a certain device that we call a capture card, and it seems as though the capture card is doing what it did last time, but not producing a picture, and we're just at a loss to know why that is. Occasionally I'm jiggling with the wires, just seeing if something will appear, and it has not. So we go now to the top of the second inning. Sixers leading the Hardhats 1-0. Mike Fell with you on a 63-degree sunny day here in Cheyenne. We'll be with you early tomorrow. Our pregame coverage begins at 10:30. First pitch set for 11. Hope to have the camera working for our video tomorrow morning and early afternoon for the third game of the series. Landon McAnally facing Bradley Feezer down in the count 1-2. He hits the ball towards short. Chopper to short, thrown to first is in time. And Landon McAnally, or rather check that, for the Hardhats, Alex Dietrich, he is retired 6-3, short to first. And now Tate Crossweight, the DH for Coach Torvey, the left-handed slugger, digs in against Bradley Feezer. Here comes the pitch from Feezer, and it is low for a ball. Tate Crossweight had a good weekend at the plate, as did many of his teammates, in the three-game sweep over Fargo last weekend at Fitzgerald Stadium. Crossweight hits it hard, stabbed by the second baseman, throw to first is in time. Excellent play right there by Ethan Reinsdorf, and that sets it up with 2 outs. That was an impressive piece of fielding there by the second baseman. That was actually Cade Coates that made that play. Now coming up to hit, it's Peyton Tipton. Feezer able to take something off his first pitch and draw a swing and a miss from Peyton Tipton. So there's 2 up, 2 down, nobody on here in the top of the second. Pitch from Feezer is a swing and a miss by Peyton Tipton. Now Tipton working down 0-2. Waits for the pitch from Brad Feezer, and it is just off the plate. That was really close. Could have gone either way. 1-2 count now coming up. Feezer gets his 3rd strikeout of the game in just 2 innings of work, and he is able to get a 1-2-3 inning. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base, and through an inning and a half of action, Legion baseball in the Cowboy State today. It is post 6 1, post 22 0. You're watching Hardhats TV. Mike Fell with you. We're glad that you're able to make us a part of your weekend, make us a part of your Saturday. A lot of baseball still to come this afternoon. We'll take a look at what's going on in the big leagues. Some games even being played internationally. My Padres playing the Giants this afternoon in Mexico City. And that's a game being played in Mexico City today. And then they'll play in Mexico City as well tomorrow. Some big crowds expected south of the border for those games. Looking at scores from around Major League Baseball today. The Miami Marlins well in front of the Chicago Cubs, 7-2, and game in the top of the 5th inning. The Red Sox leading Cleveland Guardians 5-1 in the 6th. The Oakland A's, not quite yet the Vegas A's, ahead of the Big Red Machine, well, not exactly, the Cincinnati Reds, 2-1. How about the second place Orioles on top of the Tigers, 4-0, trying to get a sweep because, trying to avoid a sweep. The Tigers beat the O's 7-4 earlier today. Well, we're back to action. Sorry to pass this score along. You probably know it, Oliver. The Blue Jays in 10 innings able to win 1-0 over the Seattle Mariners. Negebauer pitches, handled by the second baseman. Throw to first in time. Tipped into Diedrich. Retires Landon McAnally,
Chopper just got right.
and that was a really good play there by Peyton Tipton, the second baseman, to record the opening out of this bottom of the second inning. So now Ethan Reinsdorfer comes up to hit. The first baseman faces Lee Negebauer. Lee fires, and that's a swing and a miss. Technically a foul tip. It was a swing and a miss, handled well by Philip Benz, the catcher. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Negebauer picking up right where he left off in that dominant shutout last Saturday night in Rapid City. He is able to draw a swing and a miss for strike two, and now it's an 0-2 count to Ethan Reinsdorfer. Next pitch to Reinsdorf is inside for a ball, and Ethan has moved off the plate just a skosh. Here comes the pitch on a 1-2 count with one out to Reinsdorfer. He hits it hard to short, throw to first, is scooped up for out number two. Great play by Kiefer, and an even more impressive scoop by Alex Dietrich to record the second out of this inning. And how about the performance of Lee Negebauer? He is silencing these hot bats for the most part, only giving up a pair of hits so far through an inning and 2/3, and he is inducing post six into a number of ground outs, and he is working at a brisk pace here in Cheyenne this afternoon. First pitch is outside for a ball to Anthony Pacheco. We don't think Pacheco's related to the Chiefs running back that won the Super Bowl. Second pitch is outside for ball one. It's a 1-1 count. Negebauer rocks, delivers, and throws it over for strike two. Now Anthony Pacheco is down in the count, and Lee Negebauer threatening to record his first 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the second. And there is a foul by Anthony Pacheco. And let's see if Pacheco can do something here. 1-2 count. Negebauer trying to ring up the batter here, and it is strike three. What a curveball by Lee Negebauer. He went to old Uncle Charlie, and Charlie was home. At the end of the second inning, it's post 6-1, and Rapid City Hardhats post 22-0. In the bottom of the first inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. A 1-2-3 bottom of the second, and the Hardhats keep it a one-run game. It is Cheyenne post 6-1, post 22-0. We go to the top of the third. A great pitcher's duel is materializing with Brad Fieser yet to give up a hit, and Lee Negebauer dealing some big-time pitches against a Sixers team that had 7 runs earlier in this doubleheader, but has only recorded a pair of hits so far. You're watching Hardhats TV. I want to give a big shout out to Darren Good. Appreciate Darren for all he does behind the scenes. He rounded up both of the lineup cards here at Powers Park today, and he has a knack for getting the lineup cards for all of you fans and for this broadcaster. So the Hardhats will send Philip Benz, Wilson Kiefer, and Zeke Farley to the mound here in the top half of the third inning. The Hardhats so far yet to get a hit. Marion Saylor did draw a walk, a one-out walk in the top half of the first inning, but only Saylor has been able to reach base through the first two
Followed by
innings of play.
Vince,
And Marion Saylor now, or check that, Philip Benz to lead things off here in the number 8 spot in the order for the Hardhats. First pitch is high for ball one. It appeared that Philip Benz was going for a bunt. We saw him lay down a successful bunt or two last Sunday.
Not squaring this time. The 1-0 misses low.
Second pitch is well outside, and suddenly it's a 2-0 count. Perhaps Feezer is not quite settling down here in the top of the third. Pitch from Feezer is low for ball three. Now, Philip Benz probably has a stop sign. Here comes the pitch, and it's over for a strike. Post 22. Waits to Philip Benz. Pitch from Feezer is fouled away. Great job there by Benz to protect home plate and keep the at-bat going. Of course, it's also good that St. Thomas More makes their opponent work. Next pitch is fouled at the very top half of the screen. Behind home plate.
over the screen in a hurry. Foul by Vince.
Post 22, trailing 1-0 here in the top of the third. Nobody out. Pitch is fouled away again. Philip Benz right now really extending Bradley Feezer.
Feezer and Benz wage a little battle in the top of the third with nobody out. 3-2, breaking ball.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Thomas More happy in part that they're getting so much away to work with. And there's ball four. And Philip Benz with a marvelous at-bat, able to protect the plate, fill the count, then protect the plate, and then draw a wild outside pitch and ball four that sends Benz to the line, or to first base, and gets things going for the Hardhats. Wilson Kiefer now up to bat for the Hardhats. Brad Feezer looks back at first. Pitch is going to be bunted back to the pitcher. Only play is to first, and there's a sacrifice bunt by Wilson Kiefer. Great job by. And now that will bring up Zeke Farley, and we turn to the top of the order for post 22.
Did the right thing. Got the out. If they're going to give you the out.
Here comes the pitch to Zeke Farley. Farley hits it hard, hits it towards the deep part of right, and it's caught. Tagging on the play and running into third is Philip Benz. What a tremendous effort there by Zeke Farley. He hit it hard, but he hit it right behind the right fielder. Now here comes a Marion Saylor with a runner. That would be Philip Benz at third base. Here comes the pitch to a Marion Saylor.
Remain in the stretch and the pitch.
The pitch is outside for a ball.
And missing for the ball. 1-0.
Threat for Rapid City. Post 6 with the 1-0 lead, top of the third, 2 outs.
Here comes the pitch to Marion Saylor. Strike one. Hardhats trying to bring home the tying run in the person of Philip Benz, who is standing at third with 2 outs. Pitch from Feezer is over for a strike. And now the count works to 1-2. Marion Saylor, can he protect the plate like Philip Benz did during his at-bat? Here comes the pitch.
Yes, it comes set. Fastball stays up. That'll even it up.
Next pitch is
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2
outside, and the count goes to 2-2.
Leading the Hardhats.
Marion Saylor waits for the
2-2 pitch on the way.
2-2 pitch, and that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that strikeout by Brad Feeser strands the Hardhats base runner, Philip Benz, at third. There were no runs, no hits, and there were no errors. And one man, a big potential tying run, is stranded at third base, and through 2 innings of play, it's post 6, 1, and post 22, nothing. The Hardhats have yet to get a hit through 3 innings of pitching from starting pitcher Brad Feeser from post 6. We make our way to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Coming up to bat for the Sixers will be Cade Coates, Mason Tafoya, and Coulter McAnally. We're happy to have you with us. Want to thank all of our sponsors. Again, our apologies. We just have been unable with our first road trip of the season to get our picture from our camera to feed into our software to give you video. We got here with plenty of time. We actually came with the bus, and I got some help from Mr. Hollick, and everybody dug in, and I called Adam Birch, got some help from the former voice of the Hardhats. All of my instincts, all of my jiggling of some cords, unable to deliver the camera shot into our computer for a so here we go. We move our way to the bottom of the 3rd. Lee Negebauer back on the mound. Cade Coates to lead things off, and he hits the ball to center, or to short. Throw to first is in time for out number 1. Great play there by Kiefer in the hole. Dietrich again able to dig out a low throw. How about Alex Dietrich today? He has really been digging out many throws that have either been kind of in the, what I call the dirt turf, the dark brown colored field turf. He has just been doing great. Next pitch, as we go to the top of the order, is over for a strike to Mason Tafoya. Negebauer's pitch to Tafoya is high and outside for a ball. Our count now even at 1. Tafoya struck out his first time up against Lee Negebauer to start the game. Bottom half of the 1st, I should say. Pitch is a strike. And now Lee Negebauer has Tafoya on the wrong end of the count, or the right end if you are a Hardhats fan. Ball is dribbled to third, throw to first is in time. Hayden Hollick able to deliver a missile across the diamond to Alex Dietrich. That retires Mason Tafoya, the leadoff hitter for post 6 that possesses a great amount of speed. And now here in the 2nd inning, it stands post 22 down 1-0. First pitch to Coulter McAnally is outside for ball 1. This was a duel that last time lasted for 9 pitches, and it was ultimately won by Negebauer with a pop-up to center. We will fly out to center. We'll see what happens next.
The Sixer shortstop continues to
2-0 count now coming up to pitch to Coulter McAnally, and he fouls it back for ball 1. The post 22 Hardhats 3-1 on the season, 0-1 on the day. Certainly want to get that feeling of
7-3 win over Rapid City in game 1.
Coming up
The 2-1
now is a 2-1 pitch to McAnally, and it is fouled away for strike 2.
McAnally will step out
The
box.
post 22 Hardhats
Morgan, the third base
trailing
coach's
1-0.
box.
You get the impression this could be one of the game
Coach's box.
that is very close. We will see.
The righty takes a look at the lefty Negebauer, the 2-2.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and it is outside.
3-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the third.
Negebauer gets ready to deliver a 3-2 offering to Coulter McAnally, and it's high for ball 4. Well, that was quite an at-bat by Coulter McAnally. You can see why he is especially regarded as he is. Now Corey Williams, who got the win last game, earlier today, will try to get a 2-out double today.
In the first, Williams, the lefty,
Corey Williams.
Takes inside, low and in, ball 1.
First pitch is a ball to Corey Williams.
Relief. Got the save in game 1. Not that it was necessary. 7-3. He just came in and cleaned it up.
Here's a pitch. It's driven to center field for a hit. That's going to set up runners at first and second. Corey Williams gets a 2-out single. And now there are 2 on and 2 out for Hayden Swan, the catcher, that will come to hit here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Post 22 trying to avoid a doubleheader sweep, and they are really getting a great performance out of their opponents.
Stands at second base.
Post 6. McAnally is at second base. Corey Williams is at first base. Hayden Swan sees a pitch that's low and away.
Hayden Swain, Brady with a hands high. Negebauer, set in the chest. Checks the runner, side step delivers. Hard hit ground
There's a
ball
pitch.
right to second, tipped in.
And there's a grounder to second, and that'll be a force out to end the inning. So that'll be an unassisted putout, retiring Hayden Swan, and that will retire the side in the 3rd inning. So again, the post 6 Sixers are turned away here in Cheyenne by Lee Negebauer. There were no runs. There was 1 hit. There were no errors, and there were 2 men left on base, and 1 man left on base. And at the end of 3, it is 1-0 in favor of the post 6 Sixers here in Cheyenne. We head to the 4th inning. It has been a rapidly played 2nd inning of play. It is 4:08 local time. You're watching Hardhats TV. Want to give a shout out to my son Oliver Fell. He is the voice of Hardhats TV, and I wish my son was here. Something tells me he would get that picture straightened out, that his old man. Want to give a shout out to Wayne Sullivan, general manager for Post 22. Appreciate all you do, Wayne. Want to thank Kelvin Torvey. Kelvin and I, we enjoyed our conversation on the bus ride down from Rapid City today. I feel like I've got a new friend. I really like Kelvin, and what a great gentleman he is. What a great baseball man he is. Speaking of being a great baseball man, here's something I always thought was funny, and that was somebody was once talking about Baylor baseball coach Bib Falk, and Bib with 3 B's in his name, by the way. Bib Falk, and they said he was such a great baseball man that he thought that the Bible began with "in the beginning," as in big inning, not beginning. And that's how much he loved baseball. Well, here we go. Hayden Howick will. Howick able to have the ball hit his wrist apparently, and you can see that Brad Feeser not happy with that call, and now the umpires are going to communicate. We may see Hayden Howick go back to home plate. We also could have had hitter's interference. Nope, they're going to say that we will keep this inning going. So they're going to say the ball touched the bat instead of the body, a piece of the body for Hayden Howick, and now Howick will go to bat with a 1-1. Brad Feeser. That pitch is outside for ball 2. Feeser, by the way, has a no-hitter going. He has issued a pair of walks to the Hardhats, but he has yet to give up a hit. Here's a pitch, and the ball fouled off the mask of Swain, and now the count evens at 2. It stays at 2-2. So the Hardhats yet to get a hit, but I'm watching Brad Feeser pitch here for post 6, and he is definitely looking shakier than he did the first 3 innings of score hitless pitching. And there's strike 3. Wow, Hayden Howick frozen at the dish with a marvelous breaking pitch from Brad Feeser. And that's the 5th strikeout here in the 4th inning by Brad Feeser. Feeser has got a no-hitter going here in the top of the 4th inning, and Harrison Good steps in for the Hardhats. Hardhats only trailing 1-0. Somehow it feels like much more, as they have yet to get a no pitch against this post 6 leading 1-0. Harrison Good gets a big cut and fouls the ball. What a game we have for you today. And there's strike 3, and Good got ahead of that pitch from Feeser. And now a half dozen Ks have been registered for Brad Feeser and the post 6 Sixers. So with 2 outs and no one on, here comes Alex Dietrich. Dietrich trying to get the first hit of the game against Feeser here in the top of the 4th. This has been a classic pitcher's duel with some solid defense, but both of these pitchers, Brad Feeser and Lee Negebauer, have really been in command. There's a low pitch for ball 2.
2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 4th.
Here comes the next 2 from Feeser to Dietrich, and that's a strike.
2-1.
Post 22 and post 6 locked in a good one here in game 2 of this 3-game series. There's a pitch from Feeser, fouled away by Dietrich, and now Brad Feeser is a strike away from putting up 4 no-hit innings against post 22. First hit of the game or an error on the second baseman. We're awaiting the official scorer's indication. They haven't called it a hit and they haven't called it an error. What will this be? There is no indication on the scoreboard if it's a hit or an error. Ball was knocked down by the second baseman, Cade Coates, and it's a hit. It is a single. Alex Dietrich able to break up the no-hit and now Tate Crossway, the left-handed hitter, comes up to bat. Here comes the pitch. It's outside. 1-1 count. That was a long period of time before we saw the official scorer, give a hit right there here at Powers Field. Here comes the pitch as Feeser pitches outside to take Crossweight. Crossweight batting with the tying run at first base. What a performance so far from Brad Feeser. He waits for the pitch here, and it is outside for ball 3. Crossweight with a chance to be selective and look for a pitch he wants to drive. Hardhats are only down 1-0 here at the top of the 4th. We've got an instant classic here at Powers Park. Here comes a pitch. It's hard. It's up the middle for a hit. And that will put 2 men on base with 2 outs. Tate Crossweight follows Alex Dietrich's infield hit. And we have the Hardhats threatening to tie the game with a man and strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning for post 22. Pitch is over for a strike 1 on the first pitch of this critical at-bat here in the top of the 4th inning. Peyton Tipton waits for the pitch from Brad Feeser, and the pitch is low for ball 2 or ball 1. The Hardhats trying to tie this game right here, playing in the shadow of Chick-fil-A here at Cheyenne. Here comes the pitch from Feeser, and that's a swing and a miss on a high fastball. And now Tipton down in the count, trying to protect the plate and advance the runners and perhaps tie the ball game or more. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Brad Feeser, and it is low for ball 2. The count is even at 2-2. Peyton Tipton with 2 men on with a chance to come through here for the Hardhats. The pitch from Feeser to Tipton is a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Brad Feeser gets a huge round of applause from the Post 6 fans here in Cheyenne. And the Hardhats strand 2 runners at first and second, representing their best effort to date to try to score any runs in terms of number of base runners at one time. Earlier, back in the 1st inning, Post 22 stranded a Marion Sailor. Top of the 4th inning, it is Post 6 1, Post 22 0. In the top half of the 4th inning, there were no runs, there were 2 hits, there were no errors, and there were 2 men left on base. Brad Feeser and Lee Negebauer locked in a pitcher's showdown here in the capital city of the Cowboy State this afternoon. We're happy to have you with us here on Hardhats TV. Mike Fell filling in for Oliver Fell. Glad that you're with us on this beautiful spring afternoon across the High Plains here on this final weekend of the month of April. Lee Negebauer is out for the 4th inning of work. He has only yielded to this point 3 hits by the Sixers, the 10-2 ball club from Post 6 here in Cheyenne.
And a couple of hits.
Coming up to bat for the Post 6 Sixers, it's Nolan Horton, Landon McAnally, and Ethan Reinsdorfer. Here comes Negebauer. Grounder goes to Hollick. Hollick across the diamond in time. How about the infield today behind Lee Negebauer and the pitchers in the first game for post 22. The infield defense has been sharp. Hayden Hollick with his Hoover vacuum at third base, able to retire the leadoff man here in the bottom of the fourth for post 6. First pitch from Negebauer against the left-handed swinging Landon McAnally, the
Landon McAnally hitting 429 on the
left-handed hitter for post 6, and there's an inside pitch for a strike. Always fun to see left-hander against left-hander. That's what we have here.
Digs in.
You're watching Hardhats TV. It's a 1-0 ball game, and post 6 was able to score a run in the first, but there have not been any run 3 out. That is the
Will hit from the right side.
Rounded out to shortstop his first time.
Reisdorfer.
unofficially. That's only the second strikeout of the ball game for Lee Negebauer, who has pitched very well this afternoon. Of course, he was dominant in his first outing last week against Fargo post 400. First pitch is outside for a strike. And quickly, 0-2. Negebauer against Reinsdorfer. And that pitch is outside for a ball. Not sure whose name is longer, Negebauer or Reinsdorfer. Here comes the pitch from Negebauer, and it is inside for a ball. We have a 2-2 count. What a game this has been. This game worthy of all the state championships these two Legion programs have won over generations. Post 22 with 44 44 South Dakota state titles and the national championship state championships. And there's ball 4, and Ethan Reinsdorfer able to get on base, and give Reinsdorf special credit. He was down 1-2 in that at bat. 1-2 in that at bat. He was able to manage to come back and reach base, drawing a base on balls. Now here comes Anthony Pacheco coming in to bat 8th for Ty Lane, the skipper for post 6 here in Cheyenne. What a game we have. Post 6 leading 1-0. Here's a pitch inside to Pacheco. And now it's a 2-0 count. And suddenly Lee Negebauer has had 5 consecutive balls to the lineup for post 6. The ball is slapped towards second. Throw to second is in time. Kiefer throws to Tipton on a 6-4 putout. That retires Ethan Reinsdorfer, and Pacheco grounds out on a fielder's choice, and that retires the side in the 4th inning, and Lee Negebauer again gets another 3rd consecutive scoreless frame against the post 6 Sixers as we move our way into the 5th inning in this classic pitcher's duel, as the post 6 Sixers lead the post 22 Hardhats 1-0. Back with the 5th inning in a moment. Let's recap the bottom of the 4th inning for the Sixers. They were unable to score any runs. They had no hits. They did not leave anyone on base, and there were no errors through 4 innings of play here at Powers Park in Cheyenne, Wyoming. It's post 6 1, post 22 0. We'll be back with the 5th inning right after this.
I think it was baseball bad guy Jimmy Pearsall who once said, you can't be fun at the ballpark. And I'll tell you what, the fun has been
Welcome back to Powers Field. We're going to the top of the fifth. 1-0. The Sixers with the lead over
Welcome
the
back, everybody. Big news from the NFL draft. Max Dugan, the national championship game pitcher for quarterback for the TCU Horned Frogs from Council Bluffs, Iowa, in the Omaha area, has just been drafted by the Los Angeles Chargers to be Justin Herbert's backup. Boy, that makes me happy because I'm from Omaha. My dad is from grew up on a farm just outside of Council Bluffs, and it's a small world, always fun. And the other backup is to Justin Herbert, Easton Stick. He's from Omaha too. So when your hometown quarterbacks go to your favorite NFL team, because I'm a Chargers fan, boy, I love that. That just was reported. We're back to action on top of the fifth. Peyton Tipton steps in. Tipton, Bentz, and Kiefer due up for Coach Torvey here in the top of the fifth inning. Really enjoying the broadcasters to my left and right here at Powers Park. The radio guys in Cheyenne are just so good. Ball fielded by the third baseman, Reinsdorfer, who throws to first, and that retires the leadoff man, Peyton Tipton, here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Philip Benz, or check that. That was Tipton made the third out in the last inning, so Benz was retired on a 5-3 putout. And now Kiefer comes up to bat. Kiefer with a sacrifice back in the third inning. Yet to register an official at bat after he drew the sacrifice earlier. I guess that sacrifice is, of course, an official at bat, but he's 0 for 0 so far. Here comes the pitch from Feezer. Good swing, ball drifted high, and it is gone. No, it's caught. Caught in right field. I thought that might leave the ballpark by Wilson Kiefer, but it is caught by the right fielder. It was carrying deep to right. And Anthony Pacheco gets the second out of the inning. Oh, man. I tell you, the ball really got up into the sky, and I was reading the outfielders, and for a moment, I thought the ball might be going over the right center field fence. Instead, it is out number 2, and now Zeke Farley comes up as Brad Feezer will now work through the Hardhats lineup for the third time today in this 1-0 ball game here in the top of the fifth. There's a check swing by Farley. The appeal says Farley did not commit, and the count is now 1-1. Here comes the pitch to Farley, and he fouls the ball away off the screen for strike 2. Brad Feezer is pitching a masterpiece today. He's only given up a pair of hits. We are in the fifth inning. Lee Negebauer has been equally as strong, only giving up 3 hits and 1 run, and that was way back in the first inning. Here comes the pitch from Feezer, and it is outside for strike 2. Zeke Farley waiting for the next pitch from Brad Feezer. Pitch to Feezer is a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the 7th strikeout in this ball game for Bradley Feezer, and through 5 innings of play, Brad Feezer has a shutout here in Cheyenne against our Post 22 Hardhats. Through 4.5 innings of play, it is Post 6-1 and Post 22-0. You're watching Hardhats TV. Looking at the bottom of the fifth inning, there were no runs, there were no hits, there were no errors, of course, no men left on base. And through 4.5 here at Powers Park in Cheyenne, Wyoming, with Lee Negebauer on the mound warming up for the bottom of the fifth in this pitcher's masterpiece. It is post 6-1 and post 22-0. Cade Coates is set to lead things off in the bottom of the fifth inning. After Coates leads things off, we'll see Mason Tafoya and Coulter McEnany.
Well, Negebauer scattered 3 hits, 2 of them in the first inning, which led to the game's only.
What a game we have for you. Yes, my son Oliver just reporting what I just shared. Max Dugan to the Chargers. I love
Back to
it.
Bowers Field.
Absolutely love it.
Leading Rapid City.
That is awesome.
Cade Coates will lead
Here we go.
the Sixers.
Cade Coates
Big lefty who was
will swing and pop the ball up down the line. Dietrich trying to get there, and no one will get there. It's a good effort by Harrison Good also to get to that foul ball from Cade Coates, but the ball lands in deep right foul territory, and that will keep this at-bat going for Cade Coates. Coates grounded out his first time up back in the third inning. Lee Negebauer has been marvelous. He gave up a run on a pair of 2-out hits in the first inning, hasn't done anything. He hasn't allowed post 6 to do anything since. And now Negebauer trying to carve up Cade Coates, who he has down 0-2 in the count. Coates hits it hard, and it's over the right fielder, Harrison Good, for a stand-up double. Cade Coates was able to get the ball just over the outstretched glove of Harrison Good.
Got some of it, but it was missed.
And Coates gives up the double, and you know, Good probably just wishes he either picked up that ball a little better off the bat, or maybe he simply misjudged that ball. I think most of the time that's a catch by Harrison Good, but not that time. And so now the Sixers have the ball. With that mistake in the outfield, they now have a man in scoring position with nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Mason Tafoya is now the hitter for post 6. The Sixers, as they're called here in Cheyenne. When I think of baseball in Cheyenne, I always think of Brandon Nimmo, the pride of the New York Mets, one of the best on-base percentage guys in big league baseball for many years now. Here comes a pitch from Lee Negebauer, and that ball is over for a strike. 2-1 count. Negebauer facing Mason Tafoya. Runner at second in the person of Cade Coates. Coates is quick. Ball is fouled back by Tafoya, and now Negebauer has fought back after being down in the count 2-0. It's now a 2-2 count with a runner on second base in this 1-0 ball game. That is a big run, potential run out there for post 6. Negebauer pitches, and that is just a bit outside. And we've got a full count at 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch to Mason Tafoya with no outs. Runner taking off from second. Ball is hit, and it's hit foul, and that would have been a stolen base. Perhaps, no, it wouldn't have been a stolen base, but it would have been a safe move from second to third. And now Tafoya, after that foul ball, which started in fair territory and spun foul down the third base line. And Negebauer will look for the sign and deliver another payoff delivery to Mason Tafoya, and that's inside for ball 4.
Skips it to the plate, and that'll be ball 4.
So runners are now at first and second base, and we will see a conference at the mound as the pitcher's coach for post 22, pitching coach for post 22 comes out for a conversation. Want to give a big thank you to Wayne Sullivan for making all the arrangements. All of us at Hardhats TV, I'll tell you, we're going to just keep working at this camera situation. After this game, I'm going to make a phone call or two before packing up any equipment, and going to do my best to see if we can't figure out another way to get you the video. It's our first road game of the year. You never get to do a pure test, apparently, until you go on the road. That's kind of how it goes. First road game of the year. We are audio, radio only here on Hardhats TV. We're doing the best we can do. Colton McAnally is the hitter. First pitch is outside for a ball. Let's see how Lee Negebauer responds. Ball is hit hard to short. This could be 2. To second for 1. To first in time. And the Hardhats turn a double play. How about that pitch? Lee Negebauer able to draw future Utah Ute Coulter McAnally into a 6-4-3 double play. And that moves Cade Coach to third base, but now there are 2 outs, and Lee Negebauer will match up against the winning pitcher from yesterday, from the first game, Corey Williams, or rather we'll say Corey Williams, who got the save last time. Here we go. First pitch is fouled off for a strike. Corey Williams, the hitter. Man is at third base for post 6. Second pitch fouled away, and now Lee Negebauer for post 22 is a strike away from getting out of serious danger here in the 5th inning as Lee tries to strand Cade Coates at third base in what would be a big run in this 1-0 game. And there is a wild pitch. Great job by Phillip Benz to prevent that pitch from getting away and scoring a huge insurance run for post 6. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and it is a swing and a miss, strike 3. Negebauer was able to get Corey Williams to chase a pitch out of the zone, and that will finish the bottom half of the 4th inning for post 22. The Hardhats are able to, for the 4th consecutive frame, blank the post 6 Sixers through 5 innings of play. It's the Sixers 1. The Hardhats nothing. We're headed to the top of the 6th inning. How about Lee Negebauer and that 6-4-3 double play turned by Kiefer, Tipton, and Dietrich to round things out in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Looking at the bottom of the 5th inning for the Sixers, they're not unable to score. They strand Cade Coates at third base. They're able to record 1 hit, a stand-up double on a misjudged play in right field by Harrison Good. There were no errors, and there was 1 man, as I mentioned, left on base through 5 innings of play. Here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, the 2nd largest city in the Cowboy State. It is post 6-1, and the post 22 Hardhats on the road today from Rapid City, yet to score against Bradley Farley, who comes out for game number 6. Man alive, what a game. I love a fast-moving 1-0 game when you are seeing phenomenal phenomenal starting pitching and great defense in the infield and the outfield. Wow, this has really been a fun outing, that's for sure, today. Well, we now get ready to go with inning number 6, and the Hardhats will bring up Marion Saylor, Hayden Howick, and Harrison Good. If anyone gets on, it'll be Alex Dietrich. So the heart of the order coming up here in the 6th inning. Big opportunity for the Hardhats to rally against Bradley Farley. Bradley Feezer. Pitch from Feezer is outside catches the corner for strike 1. Marion Saylor, also known as Mars Saylor by his teammates, waits for the pitch and fouls it away for strike 2. Feezer's thrown a lot of pitches today. We're in the 6th inning. Heart of the order coming up with the 3rd time through the lineup for Feezer and the Sixers. And there's a swing and a miss by Marion Saylor. Marion Saylor 1 for 0-2 in the ball game with a pair of strikeouts, and now Feezer with 8 strikeouts in this masterpiece for post 6. Here comes Hayden Howick. There's a swing and a miss, and I'll tell you right now, the Hardhats are pumping at the plate. They are really taking their cuts against Brad Feezer, and Feezer is coming out on the better end so far in the 6th, and there's a breaking ball, strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. Feezer right now just absolutely whizzing strike after strike by the Hardhats, and there's strike 3 as Howick swung at a high off-speed pitch, and that's now 3 consecutive strikeouts between the 5th and 6th inning for Bradley Feezer. And here comes Harrison Good. If there's ever a spot for Harrison Good to hit a game-tying home run, this would be it. This 1-0 ball game. And there's a swing and a miss, and that caught a piece of the catcher, Hayden Swain, and it looked like Harrison Good's foul pitch just really clipped Swain, and he can't even stand up as he tries to get to his feet. And you can just tell that Hayden Swain, he's as tough as a $2 steak, but he just can't get himself up on his pins. We are in a 1-0 ball game here in the top of the 6th inning. Post 6 leading 1-0. We have an injury timeout. What a game we have for you here on Hardhats TV. Lee Nagebauer for post 22 has only given up 4 hits and 1 run. That came way back in the 1st inning. And for post 6, what can you say about Bradley Farley? He has just been, Feezer, he has been masterful, giving up a pair of hits back in the top half of the 5th inning, but otherwise, he has pitched a virtual dominant masterpiece here at home at Powers Park in Cheyenne. Want to thank all of you tuning in. Again, our apologies, no video. Not sure what the problem is. I have worked at this with the help of 3 people today, and we just haven't been able to connect the video to the Hardhats TV, so we're bringing you what amounts to a radio broadcast here on Hardhats TV. Mike Fell filling in for Oliver Fell. My son, proud to announce, has finished his freshman year at Arizona State University. The Sun Devil has has made his way to the north from Phoenix to Denver, and he will be in Rapid City calling Hardhats TV games and serving as the social media director coming up starting next week. And we can't wait for Oliver to get to Rapid City. Ball is popped up, calling for it as the first baseman, and that will retire the side as Harrison Good will pop out to the first baseman, Ethan Reinsdorfer, and that will retire the side in the top of the sixth for the Hardhats. The Hardhats scored no runs on no hits. There were no errors. No men were left on base. And Brad Fieser has gone 6 strong and racked up 9 strikeouts to lead the post-6 Sixers to a 1-0 advantage as we have reached the middle of the 6th inning in this classic here in game number 2 of our doubleheader from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Hayden Swan, Nolan Horton, and Landon McAnally will come up to bat here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Sure has been a great spring afternoon. Everything we hope to bring you except the picture on our video broadcast today, and we just thank all of you for tuning in. You fans that have been listening to this broadcast, I hope that we've been able to at least paint a few pictures for you here on Hardhats TV. And again, we're going to take one last stab at trying to get some audio, some video to come through, because we've got a big game tomorrow. Pre-game coverage starting at 10:30 and first pitch set for 11 o'clock on Hardhats TV. Understand that both the Expos and the Hardhats, who are playing right doubleheaders today at different ballparks, will be making their way to Chick-fil-A. We have to get a Chick-fil-A in Rapid City one of these years. Just keep working at it, I guess. Maybe the Cathy family will give a Chick-fil-A to Rapid City sometime. There's a pitch and a swing and a miss, and it's a 1-1 count to Hayden Swan. That will end the day, by the way. Pitching change for the Hardhats. Eli Kelly is on the mound for the post-22 Hardhats. Eli Kelly replacing Lee Negebauer, who delivers a masterful 1-run. Eli Kelly pitch up the middle, and the ball is struck hard, and that's going to be a base hit by Gullinger, the new catcher out there for post 6 here in the 6th inning.
Gullinger is the name of the pitcher. So Gullinger on the mound for Rapid City.
So we've now found out that it's Gullinger that's out there. Thought we had Eli Kelly in relief. He's been the primary relief pitcher in close games so far this year. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Hardhats trying to keep it a 1-0 game and take one last shot at Brad Fieser, who is going for a complete game 7-inning shutout in the 7th. Ball is hit hard and through the hole between the third baseman and the second baseman. That's a base hit. And now a pair of singles by Hayden Swan and Nolan Horton have moved runners to first and second with nobody out. And yes, Lee Negebauer was pulled after 5, so now Gullinger is out there. They're going to potentially intentionally walk Landon McAnally. Nope, they're going to go ahead and pitch to Landon McAnally. Gullinger unable to get in any groove as he comes in for Lee Negebauer, and this might be an endurance test perhaps this game could really tip on which team was able to get to the other's bullpen today in Cheyenne. Let's hope it's going to stay a 1-0 game, Hardhats fans, but at the moment, trouble is a-brewing here on the very northern edge of the Colorado-Wyoming Front Range. 1-0 our score, the post six. Sixers with 6 hits compared to the Hardhats' 2 hits. And I think we're going to maybe see again, no, it's hard to see what's going on. They're ready to intentionally walk Landon McAnally, but every time they don't. Here comes the pitch, and it is, oh, what a great play by the catcher to prevent a wild pitch. The runners are going to stay at first and second. McAnally, the designated hitter. The infield is in, looking for a bunt, a sacrifice bunt here with this 2-0 count to McAnally. And McAnally shows bunt, throw to third is in time for out number 1. What a great play. Bentz able to gun down the base runner, Hayden Swain. What a great caught stealing play there as Bentz able to retire Hayden Swain 2-3. A nice tag put on by Hayden Hollick at third. And now there's a runner at second with an out. And the ball is hit to the pitcher. He looks the base runner back to second, throws to Dietrich at first for out number 2. Man, did Gollinger just dig out of a hole. Wow. So somebody told me once when I was in Wyoming that, and this is just a good piece of cowboy wisdom, you can't fall out of a hole. Think about that for a moment. You can't fall out of a hole. And right now, it looks like the Hardhats will get out of a hole. They pick up a grounder and throw to first. It's a 6-3 throw across the diamond. Kiefer to Dietrich, retires the side. And again, the Hardhats keep it 1-0. They help out, bail out their pitcher with marvelous defense. And the Hardhats keep it 1-0 as we go to the 7th inning, as Feezer will come out for the 7th inning. Oh, what a game this has been in Game 2 of this 2-game set this afternoon in Cheyenne. To round out the bottom of the 6th inning for the Sixers, there were no runs, there were a pair of hits, there were no errors, and there was one man left on base. Through 6 innings of play, with Brad Feezer coming out for a complete game shutout attempt, it is post 6-1, post 22-0. We will bring you the top half of the 7th. Don't go away. I know you don't want to go away. It is 4:55 local time in Rapid City. We're thrilled to have you with us on Hardhats TV. It all comes down to this as the Hardhats get set to take on the Sixers in the 7th inning. Coming up to bat, it'll be Alex Dietrich, Tate Crosswaite, and Peyton Tipton. Brad Feezer has gone 6 innings. He has gotten stronger as the game has gone along. He has struck out 3 of the last 4 Hardhat batters he has faced. And we now get ready for the 7th inning. All the Hardhats need is a run to stay alive. 2 runs gets them the lead. What a game. First pitch is over for strike 1. Alex Dietrich, the right-handed hitter, facing big Brad Feezer. Feezer, second pitch is outside for a ball. Good plate discipline right there for post 22's Alex Dietrich, the first baseman. Here comes the next pitch. Feezer rocks and fires, and the ball is outside for ball 2. And now Dietrich has worked in front in the count. Here comes the fourth pitch of this at-bat. Feezer rocks on the edge of the rubber and gets a swing and a miss for strike 2.
2-2.
Not so sure that Dietrich swung at a strike there. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Brad Feezer, and it is a swing and a miss, strike 3. The 10th strikeout of the game for Brad Feezer. And now the lead retired for the Hardhats. Tate Crossway, the power-hitting left-handed hitter, comes out trying to get something going against Feezer, who was 2 outs away from a complete game shutout. First pitch is inside for ball 1. Feezer has pitched 6 1/3 innings, has yet to give up a run, and has struck out 10 post-22 hard-hat hitters today. Here comes Feezer's second pitch. It's outside for a ball. It's a 2-0 count. Let's see if Feezer can get Crossweight to chase here, and Crossweight fouls it off his foot. That has to hurt for a strike. Tate Crossweight down, actually ahead in the count, 2-1 with 1 out, nobody on base. The only run in this game was scored way back in the first inning by post 6 against Lee Negebauer, who was marvelous today. Second pitch is outside for a ball, and now it's a 3-1 count. Crossweight can afford to be selective. What the Hardhats need is a base runner. Here's Feezer's pitch, and it's a wild pitch. That's going to go to the screen, and that will be a walk to Tate Crossweight. The Hardhats are in business, ladies and gentlemen. The Hardhats have a base runner with 1 out in the top half of the 7th inning against Brad Feezer, and here comes Peyton Tipton. Tipton, who has played the field extremely well, we're going to have a substitution, and Crossweight, who got banged up on that foul ball that hit his calf a moment ago, will be pinch run for. Not sure who the pinch runner is. We'll wait to hear the announcement. And Tipton will now be digging back in. Here comes the pitch from Feezer. Pinch runner is at first. He represents the tying run in this 1-0 ball game. There's a bunt, and it's a great bunt. Throw from third to first is in time for the second out of the inning. But the sacrifice was successful, as the pinch runner is now at second base in scoring position, and Peyton Tipton is out 5-3 on the sacrifice. And now here comes Philip Bentz, or I think we've got a pinch hitter coming up for the
defense maybe here in this situation.
Hardhats. What a game this has been. This has really been, I think, the most exciting game I've had a chance to call. We have a conference at the mound. Brad Feezer getting some instruction from his manager, Ty Lane. And we're going to try to see here who is the...
But this is Bradley Feezer to finish off. The tying run.
Who the pinch hitter is going to be here.
After the sacrifice,
having problems with my phone. I'm just trying to see who the hitter is. Well, I guess it's going to be Phil Benz. And here comes Philip Benz, the regular hitter, is now trying to drive home the tying run. Feeser trying to go the distance. Ball hit to first. It's bobbled. There's a flip to first, and it's in time. And the post six Sixers hang on to win 1-0. Bradley Feeser, a complete game shutout, as that was a 3-1 putout, and the Hardhats are unable to score in the 7th inning. They failed to score in any inning. They have no runs. There were no hits. There were no errors, and one man left on base. And Brad Feeser is able to win a 1-0 pitcher's duel. Lee Megabauer is the hard luck loser in this game. All Lee did was pitch 5 outstanding innings of baseball as the Hardhats starter, but he's the tough luck loser as he gives up a run in the first inning. It was congratulations to the 11-2 post 6 Sixers. They pull out a doubleheader sweep. And for Kelvin Torvey and the Hardhats, it was a very tough defeat at Powers Park in the shadow of Chick-fil-A today here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Wow, what a game this was. It's baseball. Somebody will win, somebody will lose. And the post 6 Sixers get the job done. They win 1-0. So we're going to go ahead and close out our broadcast. I'm going to do what I can before we get on the bus here to see if I can't get some video established with one last-ditch effort. There's one phone call I didn't have a chance to make, and I'm going to see if we can't figure out how we can get you video for Game 3 tomorrow morning. We'll be on at 10:30 a.m. First pitch is set for 11 o'clock. It'll be Game 3 of the series as the Hardhats, who are now 3-2 on the season, will try to avoid a 3-game sweep on the road here in Cheyenne, Wyoming tomorrow. For all of us with Hardhats TV, this has been Mike Fell filling in for Oliver Fell, your voice for Hardhats TV this summer. Our final set of scores. Game 1, it was post 6, 7, post 22, 3, and in Game 2, it was a complete game, 10-inning, 10-strikeout masterpiece by Bradley Feeser that lifted the post 6 Sixers to a sweep with a 1-0 win over our Hardhats. The Hardhats are 3-2. The Sixers are 11-2, and we will have Game 3, the final game of this series, for you tomorrow morning at 10:30. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night, everybody. Good night from Cheyenne, Wyoming.
He struck out 10 and walked 3, and Bradley Feeser was just dominant. It has been an outstanding effort from Feeser. Let's just kind of take a look at some of the final game statistics.